In a world of vampires and wolves. What if Bella belonged to the Alpha's fate instead? She woke up with the usual feeling of dread. It has been 3 days since the awful birthday party and the Cullens family had been away hunting. She had missed Edward dearly and she was hoping that today he would come back. 3 days without him seemed an eternity. She arrived at school but she saw no silver Volvo. She sighed. Another day alone. School dragged on, and when the final bell rang, Bella was ready to go home and hopefully finding there her beloved boyfriend. Edward's car was parked near her house and her heart skipped a beat. He had come back. She was so happy. She jumped out of her truck and she met him halfway. She threw herself into his arms. He caught her but then stepped away. She frowned. Edward, what's going on? He looked at her seriously. Let's take a walk, Bella. He took her hand and led her into the forest behind her house. They didn't walk too far though. He stopped and turned to look at her. Bella, we are leaving. She took a sharp breath. So soon? Okay, let me see. I didn't expect it so early but I'm ready. I just have to say goodbye to Charlie and Renee. I can't wait to be always with you. Edward looked pained when he said, just me and my family, Bella. You aren't coming with us. She felt fear creeping in her heart. Why not? You told me that we would be together forever. You love me and I love you, so what is the problem? He sighed. I don't want you to come with us. I thought that I loved you but I realized that I was wrong. I care for you though. And I want you to have a beautiful life, Bella. Free from monster and the supernatural. The others have already left. I came to say goodbye. It will be like I never existed. Bella started to cry. You don't love me? She asked weakly. Edward nodded. She felt her knees give away. You are leaving me. Edward, how could you play with my feelings? You promised me forever and now you are breaking your promise. Edward was shaking, but he didn't try to reach for her. I'm sorry, Bella. I never meant to harm you. I had been a fool to let you get so close to me. Now I am stepping aside. It's for your own good. Goodbye. And he disappeared. Bella stood up. Edward, don't leave me. I please, but he had already left. She looked around, and she tried to follow him. He couldn't have really left her there. She didn't believe that he didn't love her. But the more she walked and the less sure she became. He wasn't coming back. He had left her for real. The night had arrived and she was still in the forest. Nothing seemed important to her anymore. She didn't care that she was alone, in the dark. Nothing mattered anymore. He had left her. He didn't love her and she felt nothing. The place where her heart had been was just a blank hole. She could have died right there and she wouldn't have cared. Exhausted, she finally sat near a tree and closed her eyes. She didn't know how long she had been there. Did she fall asleep? Was Edward leaving her just a dream? She opened her eyes and she found herself in someone's arms. He was warm, strong but soft. He definitely was not Edward. She looked up and she met two intense black eyes. The world seemed to stop. Something inside her clicked and she felt a connection to this man. Who was he? He smiled warmly at her. But the smile didn't reach his eyes. Bella, I am Sam Yulee, a friend of Billy Black. We have been looking for you when you didn't come back from your walk. How are you? Did he hurt you? Bella felt tears pouring out of her eyes. He left me. He said that he didn't love me anymore. I don't know how I am going to live without him. Sam's arms tightened around her. Don't worry, Bella. He may have broken your heart but you are strong. I can see it in your eyes. It will hurt for a long while but you will get over him. She cried more. You don't understand, he was my soulmate. I will never get over him, never. Sam growled, but then seeing her eyeing curiously he cleared his throat. I'm sure he wasn't your soulmate, Bella. He would have never left you if he had been. If someone is the other half of you, you will do everything to make her happy and to protect and cherish her. He left you, broke your heart. No, he definitely wasn't yours. Sam's words cut deeply. She knew that he was probably right. But he had never met Edward and he didn't know the depth of their bond. But then she realized that she had been the only one to feel that much. He cared, but he didn't love her. She hated herself. How could she have believed that someone like him could ever be with a plain human like her? She closed her eyes and let Sam carry her towards her house. When they got there, Charlie Swan ran to Sam. "Is she hurt? Bella, can you hear me? Let's take her inside." And he let Sam take her on the sofa. She was wrapped up in a cover and her father sat near her. Bella sobbed. "He left me. He said he and his family were leaving and he broke up with me." After that she just cried. Charlie thanked everyone, and after the last man exited, he helped his daughter to bed. She looked broken and lost. Bella changed into a pajama and went to bed. That night and the ones in the following months, a big black wolf sat under the window of Bella Swan's room and heard every whimper and nightmare she had. And he swore that one day the brown-eyed girl would be happy again. He shifted back to his human form near his house. If he was lucky, Leah would still be sleeping, so he wouldn't have to think about an excuse for his absence. He silently entered into the house and he came face to face with a furious Leah. "Where have you been all night, Samuel?" she seethed. "It's 6 in the morning. Is this the time to come back home?" Sam sighed and turned his back on her. "I have been looking for Chief Swan's daughter. She went missing yesterday." Leah took his arm and shook it. "The others came back at 2. My father phoned me and told me that everyone was coming back. So I ask again, where have you been from 2 to 6? Sam broke away from her. "I have been out. By myself." Leah was enraged. "Since you came back you are not yourself anymore. Where did you go during the month that you disappeared, Sam? Why can't you tell me the truth? Are you seeing another woman?" Sam looked furious. "Don't you dare accusing me of cheating. I'm not my father and you should know better. Yes, I went away for a month, but I came back. And you can be sure that I wasn't with another woman. I would never do that to you." Leah sighed. "I am sorry, Sam. I know you would never cheat on me. It's just that sometimes it's really difficult to be with you. I don't understand you anymore." Sam looked down. "Lee, maybe we should take a break. I think that we both need to figure out if our relationship is working or not." Leah threw herself into his arms. "No, Sam. I promise you that I'll never doubt you again. I love you too much. Don't leave me." Sam was shaking. "Lee, I love you too. But I don't know if I am in love with you anymore." She was shocked. "Sam, how can you say that? Before you disappeared we were talking about marriage and children. And now, you aren't sure if you love me. What has changed?" Sam took a step back from her and walked toward the door. He wanted to tell her that the man she had loved had died the day he discovered that half of him was a hairy monster. He wanted to reassure her that he loved her no matter what, but the imprint had taken away the last slip of freedom he held. His love for Leah had not withstood the call of the wolf. His other half was already longing for brown eyes and soft, almost translucent skin. "Leah, I think you should go back to your house. We need time off." He closed the door behind him, although he could hear her crying. If he thought of himself as a monster before, now he just realized that it was true. He had done to Leah what the leech had done to Bella. He was not worth Bella's love. He made a resolution then. He would be close to her, but he would never claim her for himself. He had fought the wolf and he had lost. He was going to fight the imprinting even harder. This was a battle that he wanted to win. Bella was surely better off without him. He reached the forest and shifted. He was shook out of his dark thoughts by 2 voices. "Hey boss, are you okay?" asked Jared and Paul. "Not so much," Sam answered and showed them what happened. "Wow, you imprinted. Congratulations," said Jared. "On the leech lover," snarled Paul. "Shut up, Paul. I don't need your rudeness now," replied Sam. "So you broke up with Leah. There wasn't anything else that I could do." "Well, you tried to hold on to her, but it wasn't meant to be now. When are you going to get your girl?" "I won't. I want nothing to do with her. She deserves more than a half-human." "Sam, you are a great guy and remarkable alpha. The imprint is not wrong. If he gave you LLA Swan, then there is a reason and you need to find out. She dated a leech. I don't think she will mind dating a werewolf, added Paul. Sam showed them the talk he had with her about soulmates. Ouch, said Paul. I think that it's going to be a long wait for you, boss. Paul, don't call me boss, and as I said, I'm not going to do anything. Jared laughed. I thought the same when I imprinted on Kim, B. Oot, now I know that you can't fight it forever. Sooner rather than later you will feel the call. Sam felt a surge of anger shot through him. He knew Jared and Paul were both right. But he wasn't ready to admit it. You two phase back. I need some time by myself. Sure, boss. Sam felt the crackle and then he was surrounded by silence. There was just him and the forest. He wished his life could be easier, but it wasn't. Slowly he stopped and after a moment of hesitation he felt his paws taking him towards Forks. He reached Bella's window a few minutes later and what he saw broke his heart. His girl was sitting on the windowsill, looking out but not really seeing. She was broken and Sam felt anger and guilt surge rising in his heart. Anger at the leech for leaving her and guilt that he did the same to Lee. He didn't deserve Bella. She needed someone who wasn't as dark and broken as himself. He had fought against his darkness all his life and he was scared that he couldn't endure it for much longer. He had felt at peace with himself only when he had held Bella in his arms. But he knew that he couldn't ask her to be his safe place. She deserved a happy and carefree life. He knew he could not give her that. 3 months had gone by since he left. And nothing had changed. She went through life like nothing mattered. Her father was worried as was her mother. Her friends at school looked at her with pity. She didn't have enough strength to react. Her nightmares were awful and the few times she had good dreams, they were about a pair of dark eyes that she didn't remember having ever seen. The eyes called to her in an unsettling way, but she could do nothing about it. She thought that she was going insane. Her father today had talked to her, suggesting that she moved back with her mother. The thought of leaving Forks almost crushed her. She promised her father to get better and that was why she was on her way to La Push. Jacob Black was the son of her father's best friend. She remembered him like a sunny and warm guy. She could use a friend like that now. When she reached the red-roofed house she turned off her truck and a cheerful Jacob got out from the door of his house. He enveloped her in a hug. Bella, what a surprise. What are you doing here? She smiled weakly. I thought that my truck could use a tune-up. And I was missing First Beach. If you are not busy could we go there together? Jacob's smile widened. Sure. Let's go now to the beach. The truck needs to cool down before I can have a look. He took Bella's tiny hand in his and started to walk toward the beach. She let him take her hand thinking of when was the last time she let anyone touch her. She didn't want to remember about a cool smaller hand that had held hers so many times. She tried to focus back to Jacob that was chatting happily about school and cars. When they reached the beach, they walked silently on the seashore. Jacob cast a glance at Bella and then asked, So, how have you been, Bella? She looked down and bit her lips. Do you want the truth? Jacob nodded. She sighed. I feel nothing. It's like when he left, he took away my ability to have feelings. I just don't know how to go on without him. Jacob looked at the broken girl next to him and hugged her. Bella, I know that now you think that the pain will never go away but eventually it will be bearable. I am here and I want to be your friend. You can come to me anytime you want. We can talk, watch movies or just be with each other. Bella felt relieved that Jacob was so easy to be with. She was surprised to notice that she was hugging him back. She put her head on his chest and sighed. Thank you, Jake. I think I'll take you up on your offer. You will get tired to see me. Jacob laughed. That will never happen, Bells. He then tightened his hold on her. Bella turned to see what had irked him and she saw a guy that seemed familiar to her. She almost fainted when she saw his eyes. They were the ones appearing in her dreams. What do you want, Sam? Said Jake rudely. Sam eyed him and the girl in his arms. Just keeping a watch on the beach. You make sure that you are never alone here. Do I make myself clear? He then looked at Bella. You either. It's not safe to be here. Bella remembered the voice now. He was the guy that found her in the forest. Thank you, Sam. When I come here I will be sure not to be alone. And she smiled at him softly. Jacob took notice of the way they were looking at each other and snarled, now that you gave us your advice, you can leave. Sam gave a last look at him and then turned to go. Be safe, Bella. Bella felt a strange feeling of loss when he left, but she was still confused and upset about discovering that his were the eyes that she dreamed so many times. She concluded that because he had saved, she had keyed the memories of safety and comfort with him. And then she said, Jake, why were you so rude with him? He just told us to be careful. Jake sighed, resting his chin on her head. I don't like him, Bells. 1 year ago he disappeared. His mother and his girlfriend launched a search party but they could not find him anywhere. After a month he came back and started getting closer to the elders. Now he goes around the res like he owns it. He has 2 guys almost always with him and they look at me and my friends Embry and Quill like we are coveted prizes. The guy gives me the creep. Bella didn't know what to think. Sam had been nice to her that night, although she had felt an undercurrent of power suppressed below the surface. But she had felt safe in his arms. It was hard to think of him in the way Jake described him. What about his girlfriend? Did she take him back? She blurted out before she could think. Jake stiffened for a moment and then relaxed again. Well, they dated until 3 months ago. The day after they found you, he broke up with her. They were together for 5 years. Before he disappeared they even talked about marriage. Leah, his girl, said that he had changed for the worst. Beside, nobody knows where he went. Bella couldn't shake a feeling of foreboding. The way she reacted to Sam did not sit well with her. He had looked at her with an intensity that had unsettled her, even more than she already was. She had felt the need to detach herself from Jake when he had looked at them. She was taken out of her reverie by Jake, who suggested going back and starting to have a look at her truck. She decided to put aside her fascination about Sam Yulee. She had already too many troubles and problems without concerning herself with that dark and intense man. He was upset. He had been sure of his decision to not claim Bella as his mate, but when he saw her in Jacob Black's arms he had almost lost it. He had never been jealous and the feeling was upsetting him greatly. He thought he was fine with the idea of letting her free from the imprint, but he definitely didn't want her to end up with Jacob, who was sure to become a werewolf soon. He felt a surge of anger when he thought of Jacob holding his Bella. And she seemed to like it far too much. What was it with her and monsters? Was she a danger's magnet? Surely Jacob was going to phase and he would be forbidden to see her. He didn't want to think of the consequences. She could never be Jacob's imprint because she was his. He sighed when he thought about his Bella. She had looked at him first in shock and then with a softness that had been almost his undoing. When she had thanked him, it took all the strength he possessed not to snatch her away from Jacob and take her into his arms. Jared was right. He could fight the imprint but he could never win. He was almost home when he heard someone calling him. He turned and saw Leah running to catch him. Sam, please can we talk? Asked Leah. Sam fought against the onslaught of emotions that Leah's voice could provoke. What do you want, Leah? We agreed to give each other space, but in the last 3 months you have been here almost every day. Leah's voice was soft. Sam, I love you and I know that you love me too. Whatever problems we have, we can solve them together. I want to be with you. Please let's try to work this out. Sam felt himself shaking. Pain, shame, guilt. Leah, I can't be with you anymore. I love you but I am in love with someone else. Leah's sharp intake of breath tugged at his heart. But he could not back down. He was going to end things with Leah. He had to let her free. She was very angry. You lied to me. I asked you if there was another woman and you said that there wasn't. You are a bastard. Just like your sorry excuse of a father. Everyone knows that Embry is your half-brother. Sam turned menacingly toward her. I didn't lie to you. I met this girl and I fell in love. I broke up as soon as I realized that what I felt for her was real. I'm not even seeing her. I just know that eventually I will court her, and if she will take me, I'll be hers. I know that you are hurting now. But don't you ever dare saying again that I am like my father, because if I had, I would be stringing you along. Leah was furious though. I won't give up on you that easily, Sam. I will win you back. I've known you for 5 years and I know what you need and want. She will never be to you what I am. Sam stated to walk again. On one thing you were right, Leah. She will never be you. But I made up my mind. I don't want to be with you anymore. Don't try to win me back, because she holds not just my heart but my soul. He left her there crying, feeling like the monster that he was. He had finally admitted that he wanted Bella for himself. That eventually he would try to have her. He shook his head. He needed a good run. He went into the forest and shifted. "Hello, boss," said Paul. "How's going?" After seeing what had happened between him and Leah, Paul remained silent for a while. "You know that you can't help it, boss," he finally said. "I know, Paul," sighed Sam. "It doesn't make it any easier." Changing the subject, "How's Embry?" "He is getting there. I foresee him joining us in a month's time." "Good. What about the leech's scent?" "I haven't smelled her for a few days now. But she is not far. It's like she is looking for something. Or someone," said Jared's voice. "What are you thinking about, Jared?" asked Sam. "Just wondering if maybe you soulmate could be attracting other vampires too." Sam felt his heart miss a bit. "Why do you feel that my Bella is connected?" "Because the scent is stronger around Forks, and specifically around the Swan's residence. I was just patrolling here and I caught the redhead leech snooping around. As soon as she saw me, she disappeared. I swear I couldn't follow her." Sam growled. "We will have to patrol near my Bella's house more often. I'm glad that Embry will join us soon. At least there will be 4 of us." "When do you think that Jacob will join us, boss?" At the mention of his name, the memory of the encounter on the beach was pushed into Paul and Jared's mind. I don't know how you managed not to kill him," said Jared. "I don't know it either. But back at your question, Paul. Billy says that he is a bit warmer but nothing more. With my Bella calming presence, he will probably shift in 2 or 3 months' time. Same with Quill Jr. "Hey boss, noticed anything recently?" "What are you talking about?" snarled Sam. "And don't call me boss." Paul sniggered. "Since when is she yours, Bella?" Sam lunged at Paul and they fought for a bit, while Jared watched them and laughed. When they calmed enough, they agreed on a new patrol time and bid their goodbyes. Sam was left alone with his thoughts. Paul had been right. Since when was Bella his Bella? He shook his head. For as much as he tried, he couldn't stop thinking about her. And he couldn't stop wanting to claim her as his. She woke up screaming again. It has been a month since she had started to hang out with Jake, and although she was feeling slightly better, her nightmares haunted her. Beside the bad dreams about Edward leaving her, she was upset that she was still dreaming about Sam's eyes. She sighed and tried to go back to sleep. But the thought of Sam Yulee kept her wide awake. There was something about him that didn't let her forget about him. She had seen this guy twice and he was stuck in her head like he had been in her life all along. Could she go on like that? Going out with Jake, who had started to show a romantic interest toward her, and still being stuck on Edward and Sam. Bella before the Cullen would have faced her interest for Sam and would have done just about anything to understand what drew her to him. Bella after the Cullen wasn't Bella at all. Finally a surge of anger shot through her. They had fooled her all right, first telling her she was family and then leaving her all alone. It wasn't fair, and she was tired to be broken. A new resolution rose within her. She would go to see Sam again. She had to think of a good excuse, to discover where he lived and avoid Jake's finding out. A small smile crept into her face. This was the first conscious decision she had taken in a long time. And it felt good. In the morning she felt more at ease with herself, and when she arrived at school she put an effort into talking to Angela and Jessica. The girls, although surprised, took her back into their folds without much questioning. By lunchtime she was sitting at the table with the old gang, Angela, Jessica, Mike and Tyler. She felt almost back to her normal self. She knew there were still a lot of issues that she had to work through, but she felt finally a sliver of hope that eventually she was going to be okay. When the final bell rang, Bella hurried to her truck. The plan was to get to Jake's house before him, and nicely extract the information about Sam from Billy. Her father's best friend liked talking to her, so she was sure to learn where Sam lived quite easily. She stopped the truck at her usual place in the Balk's backyard and got out. She knocked and found out that only Billy was at home. She smiled at him and asked, "Billy, where is Jake? Am I too early?" Billy smiled back. "Actually, you just missed him. He was upset about Embry and I think he went to the beach." "What happened to Embry?" she asked. Billy shrugged. "Apparently, he started to go out with other friends. You know of Sam Yulee, don't you?" He seemed to gauge her for a reaction. Bella felt herself blush. "Well, he was the one that found me that day and I met him once at the beach." "What does Sam have to do with Embry?" Billy replied, "Embry has joined Sam's group. Sam, Paul, Jared and now Embry are looking out for our people." Bella was silent for a moment. "When you say look out you mean protect?" Billy's eyes sharpened. "You could say that. There have been attacks and disappearances recently in the area. The guys just watch out for us." Bella nodded. "So Billy, Jake told me that Sam and his friends are close to the elders. He told me that Sam disappeared for a month." Billy grinned. "What is all this interest about Sam?" Bella's blush deepened. "Oh, it's nothing. It's just that he saved my life. I was just curious, maybe I just wanted to for that. I didn't have a chance to do so." Billy studied her. "He lives alone at the end of this road. His house is the one with the green roof on the edge of the forest. If by any chance you go that way, you could always stop and say hi. I'm sure he won't mind." Bella feigned indifference, but she had memorized the directions to his house. "It's getting late, Billy. I guess I will just go to get Jake from the beach. We both need to do our homework. Bye, Billy, and thank you." Bella walked quickly towards the beach. The feeling that she was watched gave her goosebumps. She finally arrived at Fur's Beach and saw Jake sitting on their log. She walked to him. "Jake, it's late. We need to do our homework. Let's go back." Jake looked up and Bella saw that he was upset. She sighed. "No study today." She sat near him and he put his arm around her shoulders. "What's up, Jake? Is it about Embry?" Jake stiffened and exhaled the breath he was keeping. "Yeah. One day he is my best friend, then he disappears and when he comes back he just hung around with Sam and his gang. Me, Embry and Quill have always said that we would never join them and now, he walks around like he owns the place too." Bella placed her small hand on his leg. "Jake, from what Billy told me, they are just trying to protect your people from danger. A kind of Quileute police, if you know what I mean." Jake stood up abruptly. "Not you as well. I get this crap from my father, but you are more intelligent than that." "Bella, we are teenagers. What kind of protection can we give? Please, let's not talk about this anymore." Bella was a bit shocked by Jake's outburst. He was usually so calm. But recently he had been having this mood swing. His body was warmer and he was growing up every day a bit more. His hunger had increased drastically. She always joked that he could eat up an entire cow just for dinner. But she was starting to worry. She shook her head. Maybe she was just too much a worrywart. "Sorry, Jake, you are right. I'm sure that Embry will realize what he is being stupid and he will come back to you. Now, let's go home. It's starting to be too cold here." Jake smiled softly at her. "You know I can keep you warm if you want," and raised his eyebrow suggestively. She blushed and laughed. "Keep on dreaming, Black." She then took his hand and they walked back to his house. When she got back that night, an idea hit her. She was going to make some cookies and tell him they were a thank you for saving her life gift. Then she would try to wriggle out of him some information about his gang and Embry. She was still smiling when she woke up the next day. The most surprising thing was that she hadn't woken up from a nightmare that night. It was the first morning in a long time that she felt rested. He was tired. He had slept under Bella's window during the night and then he had patrolled during the morning. His sleeping habit, or rather him, sleeping only if he was near Bella, was starting to take its toll on him. Now it was 3 in the afternoon and he was restless. The day before he had seen Bella and Jake at the beach and overheard their talk. He had felt a surge of affection for his girl. She had tried to defend him. He was happy to see that although Jake tried to flirt with her, she seemed not interested at all. And that was good. The sooner Jacob got the message the better. He was shook out of his reverie by a light knock on his door. He opened it and he found himself face to face with the most beautiful girl in the world. Bella Swan. He blinked thinking that she was a dream. But when she didn't disappear he realized that she was real and he had stared at her for far too much time. She blushed and looked down. Then she cleared her throat and looked up again. "Hello Sam," she said softly. "I was making some cookies for my father and seeing as I made more than he can eat, I just thought to take them to you. To thank you for saving me that night." Sam wanted to say something but he had no words. He was fighting the wolf within. His beast wanted nothing more than to take her into his arms and kiss her senseless. The human part barely won. "Thank you Bella. Do you want to come in?" She smiled timidly and he let her in. She seemed to look around curiously. "You have a nice house Sam. It just needs a bit of a female touch though." And then she blushed even more. Sam knew that she didn't mean to say that and he had to smile at his girl. She was a mix of shyness and bluntness. She planned to come to visit him but she didn't know how to take it from there. He liked her. She was like a mystery. Always unpredictable. He decided to play with her a bit. "You were right Bella. It would really need a woman's touch. Are you offering your help?" Her eyes met his and the world stopped for a moment. She shook herself and laughed. "Well, I don't know you enough. I already look after my dad and Billy's house." Sam laughed. "Well then we should know each other more then. Have a sit. Do you want something to drink? I'm getting some milk to go with the cookies." She nodded. "Milk is fine for me too." She then got to the sofa and sat there. Sam studied her while he went to the fridge to take the milk. She didn't seem to be uncomfortable in his house. And she seemed more relaxed and at ease than yesterday with Jacob. He had noticed that her eyes, though still guarded, were not as full of pain as they had been. Was she starting to get over that leech? He hoped so. He took 2 glasses and set one on the table in front of her. He then sat on the armchair closer to the sofa so that he could see her better. "So, tell me a bit about yourself Bella." "Well, there is nothing much to say. I'm 18, I am an only child, and I grew up with my mum. When she got remarried, I decided to come to live with my dad. I'm going to Forks High School. I'm thinking about going to college and be a writer or a journalist." "What about you?" asked Bella. Sam smiled. "I'm 22, I'm an only child too and I lived all my life here in the res. I own a small construction company, and I'm very involved with the res's life." She seemed very interested. "Billy told me that you and your friends are protectors. How do you do that?" Sam's eyes bored into hers. "Protectors yeah, that would be a way to call us. It's nothing much, Bella. We just make sure that our people are safe. Patrol around the res. Check people coming in and out of the place." Bella nodded. "Embry joined your group recently. Is there a rule that he can't hang with anyone else?" Sam's eyebrows shoot up. "There is not such a rule. It's just that it takes up a lot of time and probably Embry feels more at ease with people conducting the same kind of life." Bella bit her lips. "It's just that Jake misses him. Can't you talk to Embry? Tell him to find a bit of time for his best friend." Sam was starting to get restless again. "Bella, I don't own Embry. It's his choice not mine. If you came here just for this, I guess there isn't anything else to discuss." He stood up and got to the door to kick her out. She stood up too. She walked to him and touched his arms. They both jumped. It was like a shock of electricity. She tried again. She laid a hand on his arm and said, I didn't come here to ask about Embry. I came here to see you, Sam. I am sorry if I offended you." She then started to go out of the door, but she was stopped by a hand on her shoulder. He got closer to her and whispered in her ear, "I'm sorry too, Bella. I think I might have overreacted. Please forgive me." She trembled, and They both knew it wasn't because she was cold. They were both still, neither of them able to move. Sam was fighting against the wolf. All his life he had been restless, and the wolf brought out his aggressiveness. His human part was struggling to keep in control. She was not ready to be his. She needed to know him more. If he did something now, she would not trust him. She needed time to know him better. He had decided to let her go. But she had come to him. That was a sign. The imprint worked both ways. He had both of them. She had been brave, and she didn't even know why she was pulled to him. He hoped that when he told her about imprinting and werewolves she would accept it. Sam's closeness was causing her heartbeat to accelerate. When she had touched his arms, she had felt a spark. It has scared her, and at the same time it had felt right. It seemed like some unseen force was pulling her towards Sam. He was a mystery to her, dark and brooding, but he could be fun and kind. She could not figure out his personality, but it reminded her of him. Sam seemed to struggle with some inner demon. He was no vampire, but something was bothering him. When she had looked into his eyes, she had felt a connection to him. She had felt enveloped in his essence, and she had liked it. That thought scared her. She had never felt that way with him, so why was Sam causing her to put into discussion everything that Edward meant to her? She sighed. Saying his name still hurt, but she had come at the conclusion that she had to start to let him go. She was shook out of her reverie when she felt grabbing her arm and turning her toward the wall. He was leaning against her. The move had been so fast that she didn't know how she got there. He was getting closer to her by the second, and she was frozen. Butterflies were flying in her stomach. She could not remember how to breathe or think. She felt heat. He was so warm. She thought she would burn. She felt him tightening his hold on her, and then he let go. She didn't move. She thought that her legs would not keep her up. A howl was heard in the distance, and they both jumped. She looked at him, and she saw that he was watching intently outside the window and into the forest. "I better get going. See you around, Sam." She didn't know what to say. The moment had been broken, but she still felt the warmth coursing through her veins, burning and flaring. Waking up the heart she thought she lost. Sam cleared his throat. "Thanks for the visit, Bella. I'm sure we will see each other soon." He then tucked a stray wisp of hair behind her ear and let his hand linger a bit longer on her cheek. She blushed, and after a moment she turned and got into her truck. The feelings that he triggered confused and scared her. She had to think seriously. He was not the kind of guy who would consider her as a choice. He was too handsome, powerful and strong to desire a weak and insipid girl like her. Although his look when he touched her had been intense and sensual. She blushed deeply. She was in big trouble. Her body had betrayed her, and her heart wasn't far behind. She really was a danger's magnet. The 2 weeks following her encounter with Sam, Bella had been restless. Jake had disappeared. She had called him, and Billy told her that he was sick and that she couldn't go to see him. She had waited for him to call back, but he hadn't. Her dad had told her to respect Billy's request not to go until further notice, and she had grudgingly agreed. But she didn't like it one bit. Jake had become her stability. When she was with him, she didn't think too much about Edward or Sam. He was a bit too much interested in her, but she had always told him that she loved him like a brother. He seemed to think that eventually he would wear her down, but she knew better. If someone was ever going to be a love interest, then probably it would be Sam. She blushed again, remembering that afternoon at his house. The feeling of warmth surged again through her veins. She shook her head, while walking quickly to her truck. Today, no Jake again, but she hoped that maybe tonight he would call her and tell her to go to see him the next day. She almost had a heart attack when she saw Sam leaning against her truck. Her heart was beating wildly and irregularly, butterflies were wreaking havoc in her stomach. "Hello, Bella," said Sam with his husky voice. "I had business to do in Forks and I thought to come and see how you are doing." He seemed to notice the dark circles around her eyes, the unhealthy look that she was sporting again since Jake's disappearance. She felt very self-conscious. She was a mess and they both knew that. "I'm okay." She blushed. "I'm just worried about Jake." Sam sighed. "Are you free now?" At her nod he went on. "Would you like to have a drink with me?" She smiled. "Yes," she said timidly. Sam motioned for her to follow him. "We can go with my car and then I can take you back here to pick your truck." Bella could not believe how happy she was to be with Sam. He had come to see her and he wanted to spend time with her. Maybe this strange fixation wasn't just one-sided. They arrived at the coffee shop and he opened the door for her. She felt really shy around him, but he made her feel good too. "Bella, don't worry too much about Jacob. He is sick but he won't be for long," said Sam. She frowned. "Did you see him?" "Because Billy is not letting me see him." Sam nodded. "I saw him. He had been sick but he is now recovering. During his illness we had time to talk and he decided to join the group of protectors. He probably won't have much free time." Bella felt a sense of dread. "Are you telling me to steer clear from him?" Sam looked at her seriously. "Bella, a lot of strange things are going on around Forks. Jacob is looking out for his people. It's his duty. He will be chief one day. He needs to take on more responsibilities." Bella stared to get angry. "He is only 17, Sam. I think that he needs to grow up a little more. What is really going on?" He sighed. "Nothing that you have to worry about. I just wanted you to know that he thinks of you. And as soon as he can he will come back in your life." She calmed a bit. "You aren't making any sense, but you seldom do." She smiled at him ruefully. "Since the first time we met you are always confusing me, protectors. Soulmates, you are a mystery to me." He smiled softly back. "You are a mystery too, Bella. But I'm trying to figure you out. Given time we will come to understand each other. If you would like it." She nodded shyly. "Yes, I would like that." Sam took her hand in his and after a moment of hesitation he kissed it. The feeling of his warm mouth on her skin caused her heart to double its speed. Never had she felt so excited and scared at the same time. His touch was always soft and strong at the same time. She was so shocked that she just looked at him. His eyes met hers and time stood still again. What was his hold on her? His eyes were so intense that she had to look away. Someone else had looked at her in that way and then he had left her broken. She wasn't sure she could go through that again. "It's getting late," she murmured. He squeezed her hand. It seemed like he didn't want to let it go, but then he did and stood up. "I take you back then." No words were exchanged during the drive back. When she was getting out of the car he said, "See you soon, Bella." She smiled, but didn't reply. She felt physically and mentally drained. Her encounters with him left her with more questions than answers. Always wanting more and at the same time scaring her for the intensity. Sam was no Edward. He didn't fear to hurt her with physical contact. And he seemed to get closer to her every time they met. It was like he felt the same way she did. He had told her that they were going to see each other soon. She didn't know whether to dread or to look forward to it. She needed to clear her mind. So she decided that the next day she would go the meadow where everything with Edward had started. She needed closure and she thought that it was the best place to let her first love go. After he left her at her truck, he drove back to the res slowly. He wasn't looking forward to phase and do patrol. That night it was his and Jake's turn. He didn't like that the future alpha had strong feelings for his girl. He was subjected to endless memories of her with him. Bella smiling at his jokes, laughing in his garage, hugging him. Jake's thoughts were all centered on Bella. If he wasn't sure that he had imprinted he would think that Jacob had. Before Jake phased, he was sure that it was just a teenage crush, but now that he was in his head, he knew it was more serious. Jake had taken everything badly. He didn't. Want to be a wolf? To which the others had reply, who wanted it? He didn't like the idea of the imprint, he thought it took away his free will. Sam agreed with him, Jared disagreed. He couldn't ask anything better than Kim, he always replied, and he wouldn't have dated her if the imprint didn't pinpoint her out. Jake hated Sam's imprinting on Bella even more than anything else. He had tried to kill him when he discovered it. In addition to that, Jake's rage when he found out he couldn't see Bella had been immense. Sam had to give him an injunction, he had explained that it was for her safety. But Jake didn't accept it, he swore that he could never hurt Bella. To which Sam had just replied that he couldn't risk his mate's life on his promise. Jake been so pissed that remained a wolf for 2 days. He was so furious that he couldn't phase back. Sam sighed. Why life was so complicated. He had imprinted on someone else's love interest. He had to be Leah's heart, and now he had to rule over a bunch of teenagers of which one hated him to death. Moreover, beside Quill, Seth was showing the same signs like the others, so probably he would phase too. So, Seth would be trouble as well, seeing as he had broken his sister's heart. Luckily, Jake had calmed enough when he discovered that he had to patrol around Bella's house, though he didn't like that a leech was after her. But at least Sam was sure that Bella was well protected. Jake would definitely give his life for hers. He parked near his house and then phased. Finally, you are here. I've been waiting for you, snarled Jake. Sorry, I got delayed, replied Sam, and then unbidden the memory of him and Bella shoot straight in Jake's mind. I can't believe it, growled Jake and attacked Sam. Sam was quicker and moved to the side. Now, it's not the time, Jake. We need to patrol near Bella. When we finish with our duty we will see to sort this out. Jake growled again but then headed towards Forks. You are just lucky that I love her too much to risk her life. I love her too, Jake. And believe me when I say that if I could fight it, I would. She would be better off with you, but fate decided differently. And eventually you will have to come to terms with it. I know, sighed Jake, it's just so hard, being a werewolf, staying away from her, knowing that I won't be the one spending the rest of my life making her happy. Jake, I don't know if it changes anything, but I promise you that I will love her till my dying breath, and I'll try to make her the happiest woman in this whole planet. I know better you than the leech. Sam laughed. Gee, thanks, don't I feel loved? The two wolves patrolled all night, talking a bit more about Bella and life in general. They didn't become friends, but agreed that they could work well together, for her happiness. At 7 in the morning they were heading back when they heard the unmistakable sound of Bella's truck. Where the hell is she going this early? Thought Jake. I don't know, but I don't like it. Let's follow her, said Sam. Bella parked in a clearing and then entered into the forest. Alone in the forest. I can't believe it. That girl has no sense of self-preservation. Snarled Sam. She is unpredictable and stubborn. You have got your hands full with her, smirked Jake. Well, you have too. As her best friend you are as involved as I am, smirked Sam back. Did I tell you that I don't like you? Sulked Jake. Maybe 100 times only this night, said Sam. Meanwhile Bella had hiked through the forest and reached a meadow. The look in her eyes was unsettling. Why is she here? They both thought. They remained hidden in the vegetation to see what she would do. She seemed to look around and then she sat in the middle of the meadow. And then she started to cry. Edward the First came here to say goodbye. I can't keep holding on to you. I will love you until the day that I die, but I need to move on. I want to be happy again. I met a guy, he is well, I think I like him. I want to see if it could work. He makes me feel things that I thought I could never feel again, and I can't wait for you to come back because you said it would be like you never existed. It was a lie, Edward. You broke my heart and my soul, but now I'm starting to heal and eventually you will be just a memory. I wish you happiness wherever you are. I forgive you. Sam was experiencing a huge array of emotions, of which some weren't his but Jake's. When she talked about a guy, was she talking about Jake or himself? Could it be that she really was going to give them a chance? Then something changed. A black guy entered into the meadow and his eyes were red. Vampire. They both shouted. He glided toward Bella. So we meet again, Bella. Where are the Cullens? Did they leave you here unprotected? Bella stood up trembling. They left me, Laurent. But they check on me regularly. She isn't a good liar, said Jake. Let's wait a bit longer, and see if he leaves her, grimaced Sam. Though his heart was beating wildly in fear for his mate. Well, next time they check, they won't find you, smirked Laurent. It's easier than I thought. You know, I came here as a favor to Victoria. To see how easy it would be to get to you. Now, seeing as you are a nice girl, I will kill you myself. Victoria's idea for your death would be more creative and painful. A mate for a mate, your Edward killed her James. She wants you badly. Bella took a few steps back. I'm not Edward's mate anymore. He left me. Laurent shrugged. To her, you are, and he started to get closer. Sam. Jake with the addition of Jared and Paul who just arrived entered the clearing running at full speed. Bella and the leech's faces were priceless, the most prominent feelings were shock and fear. The leech gave her a last look then started to run away and the wolves run behind him. Sam slowed a bit to look at Bella and after a moment of hesitation she turned around and ran to reach her truck. Sam reached the other and together killed the leech. One down, one more to go, shouted the wolves. Victoria might be the red-head leech, said Jake. Yes, but we need to be sure. We will have to ask Bella, Sam said. Are you going to tell her about us? Asked Jared. I think it's time, said Sam. Finally, shouted Paul and Jake. Sam didn't answer them and after a few more words, he phased back. He wanted to be a human so that his pack would not see the fear that was squeezing his heart. What if she didn't want him? What if she thought that he was a monster? There was just one way to find out. After a few hours of rest, he would go to see Bella and tell her. As soon as she arrived home, she ran upstairs and closed herself in the bathroom. The encounter with Laurent and with giant wolves had been shocking. In addition to that, she had just discovered that Victoria was after her. She was trembling. She needed to leave. She couldn't put Charlie in danger. She had to protect him. If she went away he would be safe. Victoria would follow her and she would be the only one to die. She sighed. Why every time that she was making a step forward something happened to take her back exactly where she started? Was it a way to tell her not to forget Edward? No, she had made up her mind. She liked Sam. She didn't know if he liked her back, but she could wait and see. She wasn't in a hurry. But now, Victoria changed things again. She would never had the chance to be with Sam. She had to stay away from him lest Victoria find out that she liked him and hurt him too. She decided to leave tomorrow. He would pretend to go to school and instead she would leave. She couldn't go to her mother either. She felt alone and scared. But there was nothing she could do. After a shower, she walked into her room and started to prepare a bag. She would put it today in the truck so that tomorrow Charlie would see her going to school with the usual backpack. Preparing her bag took more time than she thought. She didn't know how long it would take to Victoria to track and kill her, and at the same time she was trying to see if she could escape unscathed. When the bag was ready, Say walked slowly downstairs and opened the door. She almost died of fright. In front of her there was none other than Sam. He looked at her and at the bag and asked, "Going somewhere, Bella?" His voice was low and tense. It reminded her of an animal ready to attack. I just know that as." She fell silent. Sometimes she wished she was a better liar. He took a deep breath and then said, "Has this anything to do with the vampire you met in the meadow?" Bella's eyes shoot up to meet his intense ones. How? And then it clicked. Protectors, cold ones, descending from wolves, you were there. In wolf form. Sam seemed shocked that she had made the connection so quickly. And how would you know about it? She blushed. Well, Jake once told me about some of your legends, and seeing as vampires are real, then werewolves must be real too. Sam sighed. Why don't you take your bag upstairs and then we go for a walk? Bella shook her head. Sam, you don't understand. I need to leave. A vampire is after me, She won't stop until she kills me. And I can't risk my father's life. Sam took her arm and shook it. So, what were you thinking of doing? Just take off and wait until she reached you and killed you. Was this your grand plan? Bella saw him trembling. She wasn't scared as she knew he was just worried about her. Nobody has to die because of me. I have accepted my fate. I choose to be involved with a vampire. Now I'm just paying the price for my foolishness. Sam crushed her into his arms and then whispered, Bella, it's not your fault. I am a protector and I will be there for you. Me and my pack will look after you and your father. We are already doing it. You don't have to worry. Your fate is to live a long and happy life. Bella felt her arms working by themselves when she hugged him back. Sam, I don't want any harm to come to you and the guys. I am really grateful for your words, but I can't risk your life. You mean too much to me. Sam's hold tightened. You mean a lot to me too. I will never let you walk away from me, Bella. I am ready to lay my life for you. But, you don't have to worry. Werewolves were created to kill vampires. We won't get hurt. Bella started to cry. Sam held her. Bella, you won't go through this alone. I'm here and I'm not going to leave you. Ever. Bella took a calming breath. Sam, I'm broken. I'm nothing special and wherever I go danger follows me. I don't want you to get involved in my complicated life. Sam caressed her hair. Bella, it's my choice to make. I want to be in your life. I want you. Sam's words went straight to her heart. He wanted her, maybe as much as she wanted him. She dared to look up into his eyes and what she saw left her breathless. His eyes shone with love, adoration and desire. He lifted his hands from her hips to cradle her face. Bella knew that he was going to kiss her, should she let him. Her brain shut down when he leaned forward and closed the distance between their mouths. The kiss started slowly. They both took the time to feel the first more intimate encounter. Then, her lips parted slightly and his tongue caressed hers. A growl erupted from Sam's chest and he deepened the kiss. Bella was overwhelmed by the sensation. She was shocked that it felt right. Sam's completed her in a way she never thought possible. His kiss touched her soul and she finally felt happy. She didn't know if she could let him and the pack risk their lives for her. But she knew with certainty that she belonged to him and that she had to start to trust him. The feelings that he provoked in her were new and intense. Even with Edward she had never felt so emotionally and physically connected. If werewolves and vampires were real, could there be something more mythical linking her and Sam? Sam couldn't believe it. He was kissing his Bella. The feeling of holding her in his arms was overwhelming. His experience consisted of basically only Leah, but he knew that what Bella made him feel could not be compared to anyone else. She was the other half of him. Both the wolf and the man felt complete for the first time. They had to break the kiss for the much-needed air. Bella, I hope that you won't doubt me anymore. I'm right where I want to be. With you. Tears started to form in Bella's eyes. Sam, I want to be with you too. I'm still hurt, but I'm willing to give us a chance. I just hope that you will be patient with me. Sam smiled. I have all the time in the world. I will wait forever for you, Bella. Now, how about I introduce you to the pack? I'm sure you want to see Jake. Bella's smile widened and then a frown marred her forehead. Sam, Jake has kind of hinted about liking me more than as a friend. I was wondering if. Sam put his hand on her lips to silence her. Bella, don't worry. I talked to Jake and he knows that I like you. He is not happy about it, but he kinds of understand. You can talk to him after the meeting and explain that you feel the same toward me. Is that okay with you? She smiled and nodded. I can't wait to meet the pack. Quote. He laughed. We will take your truck. Do you want to leave a message to your dad? Bella smiled, went back to the kitchen and then took her jacket. I left a note. I told him I would be with Jake and his friend. Eventually you will have to meet him. What about next Friday when I take you out for our first date? He asked boldly. She blushed and looked at him shyly. I don't remember agreeing to go out with you. He took her in his arms and kissed her again. She responded eagerly. When they separated he said, Bella, would you like to go out with me Friday? She nodded and buried her head on his chest. He laughed. Well, now that it's settled, when can go? He took her hand and they walked to the truck. They arrived at Sam's house half an hour later. He got down from the truck and he took her hand again. Bella, I'm just going to phase and call the guys. Just get in and get comfortable. Sam arrived at the edge of the forest, took one last look at her and then phased. Guys, meeting at my house in 10 minutes. It's time you meet Bella. And Jake, she will talk to you at the end of the meeting, said Sam. Okay, replied Jake. Sam got back and found Bella in his kitchen cooking. He felt a tug to his heart. He could really picture her there, making him dinner and looking after their kids. He cleared his throat. Do you need any help? She turned to look at him and smiled. No thanks. I'll have you know that I'm a good cook. I thought I could prepare some food, seeing as Jake is always hungry, probably the others are too. Sam got closer and smiled. You found out the secret to get to their hearts. Feed them and they'll be your best friends for life. Bella laughed. I get the feeling that I'll be cooking in your kitchen for an awful amount of time. Sam took her in his arms. Only if you want to. And then he kissed her again. He forgot everything as she responded with intensity to his kiss. They broke apart when they heard laughter. Sorry boss, if you want we can back later. Sniggered Paul. Shut up, Paul, and don't call me boss, snarled Sam. Bella's blush was awesome. He could spend his life just looking at her. The clearing of a throat shook him out of his trance, and when he looked at his pack he saw them smirking. He must have looked totally whipped. He felt a blush spread through his cheeks. Well, this is something I'm going to remember for a while. Sam's blushing, said Jake with a smirk. Sam saw Bella look at Jake and without a moment of hesitation she took off and threw herself in his arms. Jake, I've missed you so much. Jealousy flared in his heart and he growled. Jake and Bella didn't notice because they were caught into each other. I'm sorry Bells, I missed you so much too. But it was too dangerous to be around you. She was smiling at him. Don't worry Jake, I'm just glad you're back in my life. He held her tight and whispered. I'm never going to be away from you again, Bells. Sam sighed and Jake's head shot up. Their eyes met and some kind of communication passed through them. The rest of the pack was waiting in silence the development. Jake disentangled himself from her and smiled. Now I'm smelling food. Where you cooking something? Quote. Bella laughed and walked back to the kitchen. It will take other 10 minutes, why don't you all sit and talk while I finish? She passed near Sam, gave him a quick kiss on his mouth and proceeded to go back cooking. Sam was stunned at how natural she had been about kissing him in front of everyone. She really cared for him. Yes, she had gone to Jake, but just because she missed him as a friend. With the kiss she made sure to show everyone, him included, that she was Sam's girl and no one else. He had caught the flash of hurt and jealousy on Jake's face and he knew that it would take time for him to adjust to be just friend. He was sorry about Jacob's pain, but he was happy to have Bella for himself. While they waited they talked about Quill and Seth. Jared said, I think they will phase both around the same time. I'll give them 1 or 2 days at the latest. Sam nodded. Okay, Embry, you can look after Seth. I'll take care of Quill. Embry looked surprised. Why don't you look after Seth? He is younger, he might need you more. Sam grimaced. The kid hates me very much at the moment. He is Leah's brother after all. A look of understanding washed through the room. Paul smirked. We are going to be entertained even more then. Another wolf is going to join the I Hate Sam fun club. Jake gave him a push and Paul fell to the floor. After a moment of silence they all broke out in laughter. And it was in this way that Bella found them when she got out of the kitchen with the much-awaited food. Everyone started to eat and Sam, seeing Bella near him, snatched her and had her sitting in his lap. She was tense at first, but seeing as everyone was too much focused on the food she relaxed and allowed him to scoot her closer. She met his gaze and he wasn't able to look away. She was beautiful and pure. She took his breath away. If it was up to him he would keep her in his arms and in his house for eternity. But he knew he had to go slow. She had agreed to a date and she had let him kiss her, but he needed to give her time. He would never want to have her thinking that he didn't listen to her. Maybe physically she was ready, but he wanted her ready emotionally too. Sam had seen how broken she had been and now she was getting better, but not yet. Her smile didn't reach her eyes most of the time. After everyone complimented Bella on her cooking skills, the pack left. Only Jake, Bella and Sam remained. Sam sighed. He passed a hand through his hair. It was difficult to leave Bella alone with Jake, but he knew that Jake was important to her, so he said, "I think you two need to talk. I'm going to check on Quill. I should be back in an hour at the latest. Take care of my girl." The emphasis on my wasn't lost on anyone. He left the house after a quick kiss and phased. He hoped that Jake wouldn't hurt her and that when he came back he would find a somehow happy Bella. Jake knew how much she had suffered until then, so he probably wasn't going to make her feel guilty for something she didn't choose. After all, the imprinting didn't think before happening. Bella was alone with Jake, and she felt at a loss for words. What do you say to the who pick up all the broken little pieces of you and loved you with all his heart and you didn't feel the same? She sighed. Jake took her hands in his. Bella, tell me just one thing. Do you love me? Bella's heart was beating wildly. Yes, I do, but I'm not in love with you. Jake took a big gulp of air. She could see how hurt he was. She wanted to make him feel better, but she didn't know how. Do you love him? He whispered. Bella was taken aback from the question. Did she? I don't know. I have this unexplainable feeling that draws me to him. It's like a pull. It's not love yet. It's more a desire to know more of him, to be near him, and when he is with me I feel at peace with myself. Does it make any sense? Jake nodded. He is a good guy. I may have wanted to be the one for you, but I can see that Sam can make you happy. I won't relinquish my status as the bestest friend though, he said with a grin. She noticed that his smile didn't reach his eyes. Jake, I will always love you. You will be in my life till the day that I die. This is my promise to you. You are more than a best friend to me, and believe me, if I could, I would have loved you the way you deserved. But I can't, and I'm sure there is a girl out there who is going to make you happier than I ever could. Jake shook his head. I love you enough to let you be happy with Sam, but I won't lie to you, Bella. There won't be anyone else for whom I will feel what I feel for you. He then took her in his arms and she hugged him back. They stayed in each other's arms until they heard Sam coming back. Bella knew that Jake would hold a place in her heart that neither Edward nor Sam ever would. But her love for him wasn't the right one for a relationship. She didn't know how she knew, but her life was with Sam. Sam arrived and looked carefully between the two. Seeing as both seemed fine, he relaxed and took Bella's hand. Are you ready to go home? She nodded, feeling the warmth from his hand spread into her, reaching her aching heart. It was comforting and safe. Jake looked at her and smiled sadly. I hope you and Sam will be happy. I'm holding you to your promise, Bella. With that he left. Sam eyed her curiously. What was that about? Bella smiled. I just promised him to be in his life forever. And seeing his eyes darkening, she added, as a best friend. She took a breath when she saw him relax again. Sam led her to her truck. I would never forbid you to see or hang out with him. Jake loves you very much. I just hope that eventually he'll find another girl to love. Bella remained silent through the ride home. Today had been long and she felt tired. When they reached home he took her hand in his again. So, this Friday be ready for 6 o'clock. She smiled at him and after a quick kiss he left. She watched him until he reached the forest. He was handsome and strong. She didn't know how a man like that could ever like her, but she was happy that he did. She entered her house and found her father watching the TV. Hello, Dad. Her father turned to look at her. Hello, Bella. So is Jake finally coming around again? Bella smiled. He is feeling better. But Dad, there is something I need to tell you. She was feeling waves of embarrassment wafting out of her. Her dad watched her carefully and then grinned. You finally got together. I'm so happy, Bella. I knew that Evan too. Ally, you would see how right he is for you. Bella cringed. Actually, I like one of his friends. His name is Sam Yulee, the guy who found me in the woods. He is very nice, Dad, and you are going to like him too. He is coming this Friday to pick me up for our date and he wants to meet you. She had rushed everything out, but seeing her father's face she added hastily. Jake knows and he is okay with it. Her father relaxed a bit. How old is he? Bella blushed. 22. He is a good guy, Dad. He had his own company and he is much respected within his tribe. Charlie swan-eyed his daughter carefully and then smirked. It seems that you like him quite a bit. I never heard you talk that much about anyone since you got here. I will be very happy to meet him. I can't wait to give him the father's speech. Bella hoped that the ground would open and swallow her. Dad, please don't embarrass me too much. I really like him. Her father's expression softened. Don't worry, Bella. I will be on my best behavior. I'm glad that you look happy again. She smiled softly at him and after bidding him good night she went into her room. Only 5 days till her first date with Sam. The week passed slowly. Sam phoned her every night. They talked about their day and she felt her anxiousness for the date slowly disappearing. He seemed really interested in her and she was starting to open up to him. Meanwhile, Jake came around every night. They talked and made homework. Bella would see the secretive glances that her father would send their way. She knew that it puzzled him that they weren't in love. For an outsider, she and Jake relationship would probably look that way. Friday finally arrived and Bella got home around 3. She had 3 hours to be ready for her date. She started to feel butterflies into her stomach. She tried to concentrate for the task at hand. Shower, hair, makeup and dress. She sighed, wishing for once to be more girly. Then she remembered all the time Alice helped her get ready for Edward. A throb of pain shot in her heart followed by anger. She wasn't going to let him ruin her date with Sam. She stomped into the shower concentrating on Sam. The bell rang at crack. Easily 6 o'clock and Bella was putting her finishing touch on her makeup. She heard the conversation from her room. She decided to give her dad 5 minutes. Her father said, "So we meet again, Sam. I must admit that I would have never seen this coming. How exactly did you end up dating my daughter?" Bella sighed. Her father was going to be tough. She could understand that he was very protective because of how her previous relationship ended. Sam's reply came tersely. "I met her through Jake. Sir, I want you to know that I really like her. I know how hurt she was when Cullen left her in the forest, and I can promise you that I could never do that to her. My intentions are honorable and serious. I'm here to stay, sir." Her father's reply was surprising. "You seem a good guy, Sam. Billy tells me why. Oh, you are a respected member of the tribe and that I can trust you with Bella. So, I will. But if you hurt her, I will hunt you down and kill you. Are we clear?" Sam said. "Yes, we are. Rest assured that I would rather hurt myself than her." She took that moment to get out from her room and she started to get down the stairs. The look on both men's faces made her blush. They were watching her in awe. Her father smiled. "Bella, you look beautiful." But her eyes were all on Sam. He was so handsome. He watched her with the usual intensity while he said, "More than beautiful." She blushed but she was unable to look away from him. Her father cleared his throat and they both jumped. They had been so much into each other that they forgot where they were. "Sam, I will expect her home by 11. Sam nodded. Then he took Bella's hand and they bid goodbye to her father. He led her to his car and they headed to Port Angeles. "I reserved a place at the restaurant for 7, is that fine with you?" Bella nodded while still studying him while he drove. "Is everything okay, Sam? You look tired." Sam smiled. "It's been a long week." Quill and Seth phased. But the surprising thing was that they weren't the only one. She looked at him curiously. Who else phased? Sam took a deep breath. Leah Clearwater, Seth's sister. Bella was trying to remember where she had heard that name. And then it came to her. Leah was Sam's ex. Fear started to rise. Leah was in his pack, and maybe now they were going to get together again. Sam somehow felt her distress and took her hand. Bella, what is it? She felt tears well in her eyes. With all her will she tried to push them back. Leah is your ex-girlfriend, isn't she? Jake told me about her. Sam sighed. Yes, she was my girlfriend. But I don't love her anymore, Bella. I'm here with you and it's where I want to be. Bella whispered. But you have been together for a long time, and now she is back in your life. Sam stopped the car and turned to look at her. Bella, I like you and I want to be with you. Besides, she imprinted on Embry. Bella looked at him. Imprinted? What does that mean? Sam passed a hand through his hair. It's a wolf thing. It's a kind of permanent bond. But can we talk about it after the restaurant? We can take a walk and I will explain everything to you. Bella nodded, still not understanding. You are always so cryptic. But that's part of your charm. He grinned. You think that I am charming? She blushed. Yes, I do. But you can be as annoying as Jake. I won't pay you any other compliment, otherwise you and your ego won't fit in the car. Sam laughed and after a moment she joined him. The previous tension had been broken and they started to talk and relax with each other. They reached a Japanese restaurant that she never tried. The place was nice and the conversation flowed during the dinner. Bella was curious about the imprint, but she didn't ask. He had promised to explain it to her later and she trusted him. When Th. EY finished dinner, he asked her if she was up for a walk on the pier. She agreed happily. Sam was feeling very tense when he started to talk. I promised I would explain imprinting to you. He took a deep breath. The imprinting is a way for the wolf to find his true soul mate. Basically, the werewolf looks into the eyes of the woman he is destined to be and gravity shifts. She holds him tied to earth. Bella seemed very interested. So, do all the wolves eventually imprint? Sam passed a hand through his hair. No, not all of us will imprint. As of now we have Jared, Embry, Leah and me. He then turned swiftly to see her reaction. She had listened carefully and when she realized that he had imprinted too, she looked into his eyes. Who is she? But it was obvious from her expression that she knew it was her. Sam couldn't understand if she was happy or not. It's you. She turned her head away from him. You are tied to me. That's why you are here. Sam was shaken by her voice. She seemed unhappy. He took her chin with his hand and made eyes contact. What is it, Bella? I like you and you like me. Is that so bad? She seemed torn. If you liked me for me it would be awesome. I cannot believe that you are forced to love me. And tears started to fall down from her beautiful eyes. No, Bella, shouted Sam. It doesn't work that way. I'm not forced to love you. The imprinting just s. How's the wolf that there is a girl made for him? I choose to get to know you and I liked what I saw. You are amazing, Bella, and if you let me I'll spend the rest of my life trying to make you happy. He sighed and then looked at him almost horrified. That's why Jake was so understanding. He knew he didn't have a chance against the imprinting. Oh God, he must be feeling awful. Sam was upset with her. He basically told her that he was hers for life and the first thought was about Jake. Bella, you told me that you don't love him romantically, but is it true? Quote, she looked at his with surprise. It's true, Sam. I love Jake as a best friend. But I cannot deny that he was there for me when I needed help. He took the good but mostly the bad. And in a way I thought that eventually I would have to love him back. Sam, you have to understand that he means a lot to me, but I'm not in love with him. Sam took a deep breath. What do you feel for me? She blushed. I like you and I'm happy to go out with you. But I don't love you, Sam, not yet. I'm barely getting over Edward. My heart is still pretty broken. But as I have already told you, I'm willing to try. At least now I know why I feel this pull towards you. You will have to be patient, Sam. I'm trying, but it's difficult. Sam nodded. You are right. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have pushed all these things at you at once. He felt miserable. What she said wasn't really encouraging. She had admitted that she liked him, but the connection to Jake was stronger. Maybe she didn't know or didn't see it, but her heart would have been given to Jake eventually. His wolf brother had almost gained the love of his life, and Sam had just broken 4 people at once. Luckily Leah would recover with Embry, but him, Bella and Jake were in a mess. He knew now that he would shield this part of the talk from Jake, or the pup would try his best to get her. Sam already knew that Bella was atypical. She was immune to some of the leech's powers, so maybe she could overpower the imprinting too. He had to be careful not to let his thought reach Jake. He was fully intentioned to keep Bella, and she was pulled to him. She was meant for him, he just had to fight harder. He would not give up on her, ever. He was meant to make her happy, and that he would do. Bella cleared her throat. Sam, you don't hate to worry about me and Jake. He is really family to me. And now that I know about imprinting, I can be even more relaxed around you. He asked. Weren't you relaxed before? She blushed. I didn't know if you liked me, and I wasn't sure if you would eventually get tired of me. So I wasn't really sure whether to let you in. But Sam, I want to try to be with you. I want nothing more than for you to be mine. And then he kissed her, trying to pour into kiss all of his feelings and the intensity of his desire for her. She responded to him with the same eagerness. He felt stupid for doubting her. She had told him that she didn't love Jake, and he had to believe her. He was so insecure regarding her, but he couldn't let his stupid fears ruin their relationship. He had to trust her when she told him that she wanted him. The evening was progressing nicely, but it was soon time to take her back home. Bella, tomorrow there is a bonfire at First Beach. There will be the elders, the pack and their imprint. I would be honored if you would like to go with me. She smiled happily. I would love to go. Will you protect me from Leah? Sam laughed. I'm sure that it won't be necessary. Besides, she will see that you have both me and Jake on your side. I can tell you that it would be a scary thought for anyone. Bella nodded. I'm sure you and Jake are scary, but a woman meeting then new girlfriend of the love of her life won't really care about it. Have you ever heard of, hell has no fury like a woman scorned? Sam frowned. Well, actually she didn't have friendly feelings towards you, but she knows that it isn't your fault, and she saw in why mind that nothing happened while I was dating her. Maybe she will be a bit jealous, but I'm sure in the end she won't cause any problems. Sam tried to calm Bella, but what she said actually made good sense. He was a bit worried that his ex would try to hurt Bella. He had to make sure to talk to Leah before she met his Bella. He would place an alpha injunction if he had to. His Bella would not be harmed by anyone. The evening went along perfectly. He had been relieved that she was accepting the imprinting. He knew that, like her, he hadn't been pleased about the compulsion and the lack of choice. But now that they were together, he was confident that she could be his perfect mate. They just fit. They both were quiet but with strong opinions. They faced the many problems of life with strength. She could teach him to be more compassionate, while she could learn to be more impulsive. When he went back home after their date, he knew he had to talk with Leah. He sighed. Even with the imprinting, she was being particularly stubborn. And Embry was losing his patience. Sam was aware that it wasn't easy to let go someone that you loved, but Leah could see clearly that he was totally into Bella. Sam phased and was bombarded with shouts and growls. I told you that I'm not going out with you. I don't like you. Shouted a very upset Leah. You are being stubborn. I know you feel the pull. I'm in your head. Replied Embry. Sam sighed. Great, just in the middle of a lover's quarrel. We aren't lovers. Both shouted. Calm down, you two. I don't want to be part of this fight. But you are, said Leah quietly and sadly. It figures, snarled Embry. Please, both of you shut up. Growled Sam. I'm not part of it, Leah. You and Embry are soulmate. The sooner you come to terms with that, the better. I'm here to talk about Bella. Who cares about that bitch, said Leah. Enough. I won't let you insult my mate, Leah. I'm warning you, and tomorrow she is coming to the bonfire. You will not insult or harm her. Am I clear? Do I have to give an injunction? Don't worry, I won't even talk to your precious, said sadly Leah, and then swiftly phased. Sam and Embry sighed. I'm sorry, Embry. I'm sure it will get better very soon, said Sam. I know. It's just that it's killing me to see her so resentful and angry. I guess she needs to vent her unhappiness, but when she cools down she will see that you are a good guy. Beside, the imprinting will work. Tried to reassure Sam. Thanks, Sam. I know that it hurts you too. She says a lot of bad things to you too, and it's just that sometimes I don't know how I can keep my calm. And before he could stop, Embry memory shoot into Sam. A very angry Leah shouting at Embry that she didn't like to be passed from a brother to another. Embry, I don't know if what Leah said is true. I don't know if my father, but I could ask if you want. Leave it, Sam, if he didn't come forward until now, then it's better this way, said Embry, and then phased back. Sam was left alone for his patrol. He felt so sad that Embry and Leah weren't working out, but he was hopeful. The imprinting was working for him and Jared. There was no doubt that it was going to work for Embry and Leah too. It was going to be more difficult, but Embry had the patience and the heart to make it work. Bella was ready to go the bonfire. She knew she was going to meet Leah, former girlfriend and werewolf. Even though Sam had tried to calm her, she knew that before the end of the evening she would have to face Leah, and she had to be strong. When she heard Sam's car, she opened the door and after a hurried goodbye to her father, she jumped in the car. Hello, Bella, said Sam, looking at her with surprise. You could have at least waited that I turned off the car. Bella laughed nervously. Sorry, Sam, I have been tense for the whole day and I just couldn't wait any longer. It's my first bonfire as an imprint and girlfriend of the Alpha. Sam smiled warmly and then kissed her. Girlfriend. I like the sound of that word. My girlfriend. Bella blushed. I'm sorry. I didn't want to assume, but. Sam shushed her. Bella, you are my everything. For now I'm content with girlfriend, but my goal is wife. Bella blushed more deeply. Maybe in a few years. Sam grinned. I can live with that. Although I'm planning to make you fall in love with me so madly that you will marry me sooner than in a few years. Bella took his hand and squeezed it. We will see, oh great Alpha. Sam turned the car and they drove back to La Push. When they arrived at First Beach, he helped Bella getting out of the car and then took her hand. Remember, Bella, this is not a test or anything. You belong with me no matter what. Beside, you are an amazing girl and everyone will love you. She smiled shyly and got closer to him. Just don't leave me alone. He looked at her intensely. I'll never leave you. When they reached the bonfire, she could see the pack, the elders and a beautiful girl with dark skin. Leah Clearwater was breathtaking. Bella wondered how Mother Nature would pick her for Sam while she could have chosen that beautiful girl. She sighed. Imprinting was really weird. Maybe there was a glitch in the system. Mother Nature was distracted when she picked her. The girl was looking at her with so much intensity that Bella had to look away. She could imagine which kind of pain she was going through. What if Leah would tell her tonight she would take it because everyone needed closure? If she could help her move on, she would try. The evening progressed quietly, the elders telling more legends of the Be in the pack hovering around Bella, trying to make her feel part of the group. Leah was the only one keeping her distance, observing but not coming closer. Without warning, a howl was heard and then guys stood up abruptly. This might be Seth. I will phase quickly and see what is the problem, said Sam to Bella. Jake will keep you company. Bella and the pack watched Sam disappear and a minute coming back running. Seth caught the scent of a leech. We need to go. Jake, you will take Bella home. Jake is more needed for the hunt, said Leah. I'll take your girl home. Sam was going to reply but Bella put her hand on his arm. It's okay, Sam. Leah will take me home safely. I would feel better if Jake was with you. Sam looked at her, asking with his eyes if she was sure. She nodded. She wasn't sure at all. But it was better to face the ex and clear the way for all of them. Be safe. He smiled softly. Don't worry. I'll be back to you. Always. The pack then took off to get the vampire. Bella turned to look at Leah. They watched each other in silence for a few minutes. Then Leah said, Come on, Bella. My car is at home. We will have to walk for a bit to get there. It's better if we go now. Bella nodded. She knew that Leah was putting up the show for the people that were looking. She didn't harbor any hope that when they were alone the wolf girl wouldn't try to shred her to pieces. If she had to be truthful with herself, she would probably do the same if she was in her place. They started to walk in silence, and when they were far enough that nobody could hear, Leah said, "I see you are enjoying my boyfriend very much." Quote. Bella took a sharp intake of air. Former. Leah turned to look at her. What? Bella straightened up and repeated. "I said former boyfriend. When Sam and I started to go out, you two had already broken up." Leah then snarled. "I would have gotten him back if it weren't for you." Bella sighed. "Not me, the imprint." Leah, "I understand how you must be feeling." She was interrupted by a growl. "No, you don't. You have the guy of your dream. He loves you and he will never leave you." "You don't understand at all." Bella turned to her and angrily spat. "Sorry to disappoint you, but the guy of my dreams left me to die in the forest a long time ago. The guy the first wanted to spend eternity with, told me that I wasn't good enough, that my love could never be enough for him. So if you think that I had it easy, you should reconsider." Leah remained silent for a while. "Did you love the leech very much?" asked quietly. Bella passed a hand through her hair. "Yeah, I did. He was my first love and I thought he was going to be the last. When he left me I thought that nothing would have ever made me feel better, but Sam came along. I fought my growing feelings for him, but it was no use. I know he must have fought them too. But the imprint is ruthless." Leah sighed. "I know. Me and Embry imprinted on each other. I don't like the idea to be forced to love him. He is a nice guy. Lots of patience and all, but I'm still so hurt about Sam. I understand the compulsion and all. I just thought that if he loved me enough he could have fought it. Just like Jake, he didn't imprint on you, but his feelings are so strong that he might have been able to fight the imprint if it ever came." Bella felt her heart break. Jake loved her that much. Leah must have realized her mistake. "I mean, oh Bella, I'm sorry. I screwed up. I mean, I didn't want to involve Jake in this. There are too many people involved already." Bella felt tears forming in her eyes. "Believe me, Leah, if I could have loved Jake that way I would have. But he is family to me. I love him like a brother. It pains me to know the depth of his feelings, and I pray every day that he will imprint on a nice girl who will love him the way I can't." Leah put a hand on her shoulder. "Bella, I want to apologize. I was angry and jealous, but you seem a very nice girl. And you look sincere. I can see that you offered much in your life, and I shouldn't have assumed that you got the better end of the deal." Bella smiled weakly. "Thank you, Leah, and there's no need to apologize. As I said, I understand your pain. I just hope that it helped you talking to me. And if I were you I would try to give a chance to Embry. He will love you the way you need and deserve." Leah smiled back. "I think I'll try. After all, I know I won't heal in a day, but if I put some effort the recovery could be quicker." The two girls remained in silence until they reached Leah's car. They went in and Leah drove her back home. "Do you want me to stay, Bella?" "I don't mind. Besides, Sam will worry if I leave you alone." Bella nodded. "I guess I could do with a bit of company." They were heading to the door when Leah straightened up and put Bella behind her. "Hold on. I smell leech here. Get back to the car, Bella." Bella looked around and saw the Cullens' car. "No, Leah, don't worry. It's one of the Cullen." Leah snarled. "You won't go in there, Bella. I can't risk your life on your assumption. What if it is a trick?" Bella sighed, and then the door of her house opened and Alice was on her doorstep. Bella cried, "Alice!" and she ran and threw herself into her best friend's arms. "Oh Alice, I have missed you so much." Alice was hugging her back. "I missed you too. I had to come back, Bella. You disappeared from my visions and I was worried that something was wrong with you. Now I know what was. You are hanging with dogs." "What is wrong with werewolves, leech?" snarled Leah. "Bella, please let the bloodsucker go and come here." Bella looked between Alice and Leah. She sighed, and she knew what she had to do. She took a deep breath and she went to stand beside Leah. Alice was shocked. "Bella, why? You know I love you like a sister, I would never hurt you. Bella smiled sadly. Physically no you wouldn't, but emotionally, you hurt me as much as Edward did. I moved on, now my family is the werewolves. I'm dating the alpha. Alice paled. I know that I hurt you, but believe me if I tell you that leaving you hurt me very much too. Now Bella, dating a werewolf is not something to take slightly. Edward wanted for you a normal life, and I'm sure that he didn't mean for you to go from a vampire to a werewolf. Bella replied angrily. Honestly, I don't give a damn about what Edward would want. I don't owe you or him any explanation. I'm Sam's mate and that's what matters. I belong with him and neither you nor anyone will make me change my mind. Alice was shocked. You really moved on. I didn't think it possible. You loved Edward so much and now you are calling Sam your mate. Bella sighed. Edward left me, Sam won't. Sam makes me happy and he is very good at taking care of me. If there isn't anything else, I think you should leave. I have already Victoria to worry about. Alice's expression turned serious. Has she been hunting for you? Is she back in Forks? Edward and Jasper have been trying to locate her since we left. But the girl is sneaky and we aren't able to catch her. Leah intervened. At the moment my pack is following a lead, but you are right the leech is sneaky. Alice seemed thoughtful. Maybe if we joined forces we could get her and destroy her. Leah nodded. I will arrange a meeting with Sam. At this point we could do with some help. Bella shook her head. No, I don't want Edward to come back. Alice, please don't do this to me. Alice looked at her sadly. I'm sorry Bella, but it is for the best. Edward will be able to read her mind and with the wolves we can catch her. He will leave as soon as she is destroyed, you won't have to see him. Bella felt her heart break all over again. She knew that Edward wouldn't be able to be away. And when he discovered that she was dating Sam, he would try to dissuade her. But she knew better. She was strong and she could show Edward that she was able to be happy again. Now Leech, you should leave. Sam will know where to find you, said Leah while taking Belle's arm and leading her inside. Wait, I can stay here with Bella while you go and tell your alpha, said Alice. Nice try, Leech, but I won't let her alone with you. Who knows how you would try to poison her mind against us, growled Leah. Bella was sick with nervousness. Alice, please do as she says. I promise you we will get to talk but not now. I need to think a few things through. Quote, Alice smiled sadly. Okay Bella, I will respect your wish. But I want to see you soon. I'm going to our house and I'll talk with the rest of the family. They will probably be all back. I'm telling you to prepare you. Bella nodded and then let Leah take her inside. As soon as she reached the sofa she sat heavily on it. I need to see Sam. Do you think that the chase is over? Leah grimaced. I don't know, but I will find out for you. I'm going to the edge of the forest all phase and then I'll come back. Stay here. Leah came back 2 minutes later. They lost her. I showed Sam what's happened and he is coming. Don't worry Bella, everything will get better. You and Sam are mates and no one will be able to divide you. Bella stood up and hugged Leah. Thank you Leah, I hope that we will be able to be friends eventually. Leah patted her back awkwardly. I'll try my best Bella, but it will take time. I'm still sore over Sam and I will probably snap a few times at you. Bella finally smiled. I don't mind your snapping. Everyone treats me like I'm some kind of frail little thing, but you don't. And I respect you and your opinion. I don't need to be cuddled and I know that you will always tell me the truth. Leah blushed. You are quite the strange girl, Swan. I might enjoy knowing you better. They heard the door opening and Sam came in. Bella looked at him and she threw herself in his arms. Oh Sam, I'm so happy to see you. Sam smiled but remained serious. I'm happy to see you too. Now, I don't like that the Cullens are back, but I will allow them to stay until Victoria is taken care of. I'm telling you now that as soon as the danger is over I'll ask them to leave. Bella burrowed her head in his chest. I'm okay with that Sam. You are my present and my future. I will abide to your rules regarding the vampires. Sam relaxed. Thank you, Bella. It means a lot to me that you trust me with the people you love. I know they were like family to you, but now, they aren't anymore. Werewolves and vampires are mortal enemies, we will fight with them for you, but then you will have to let them go. I know, said Bella sadly. I'll miss them, but you and the pack are more important to me. I won't interfere with your decision. I trust you. Sam was restless. He had left Bella with Leah for the evening. Now he was pacing back and forth in his living room with the pack looking at him expectantly. Okay, the Cullens will be back to help us out with the redhead leech. Alice told me that the leader, Carlisle, will be back tomorrow evening with the rest of the family. We will meet them at the meadow where we saved Bella, said Sam seriously. Why do we need their help, boss? Can't we deal with the leech by ourselves? Asked Paul. Sam passed a hand through his hair. I thought about it, Paul. But the truth is that Victoria had managed to escape us until now, and I cannot risk my Bella. If I have to work with leeches in order to save her, then I will. Jake sighed. Is Edward coming back too? Sam stiffened. Probably. He was bound to come back eventually. Jake stood up and got closer to Sam. Bella won't go back to him, Sam. He hurt her too much. Beside, you have the imprint on your side. Sam's heart was squeezed by a fear he never knew. I don't know Jake. She is very forgiving and he is her first love. How can I compare? You don't, said Leah entering. She wants to be with you, Sam, and nothing will change. She loved Alice, but when I asked, she came to stay at my side. She told her that she belonged with you, her mate. Sam felt hope lair, but he was momentarily distracted. What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be with her? She smirked. Relax, boss. Her father came back and Seth is patrolling. I just thought that you might freak out about Cullen, and seeing as Swan is in the family, I thought I should intervene. She really wants to be with you, God knows why. The pack laughed. Sam noticed that they seemed surprised at her change of attitude, all but Jake. Jake smiled warmly at Leah. So, she got you hooked on her too. Leah put out her tongue and then went to sit near Embry. She put her hand on his and said, "Can we talk?" Embry seemed surprised but pleased. From what Sam knew, she had never touched him, and she definitely never talked to him so calmly. Embry and Leah excused themselves and went out. Paul snickered. Why are they going out to talk? When they phase, we will know anyway. Sam growled at him. Shut up, Paul. I'm giving an injunction. None of you will be able to ask either Embry or Leah about their relationship. You will know only what they will tell you willingly. Everyone was shocked. Just because Bella is my mate doesn't mean that I don't love Leah. She is entitled to her privacy. The pack nodded, eyeing him with newfound respect. I think I speak for everyone here when I say that we are very happy to have you as our alpha. We respect you very much, Sam, said Jared. Sam smiled tiredly. Thank you. I try to keep up with the responsibility. Now, I want tighter patrols around Bella. One of the wolves always following Charlie. Tomorrow we meet with the Cullens and then we decide on a plan of action. The pack nodded in agreement. Sam dismissed the meeting. Everyone left, and while Sam was preparing to turn in to sleep, the door opened again and Leah entered. They looked at each other in silence. She spoke first. I heard about the injunction, thank you. She seemed to hesitate but then straightened up and added. She is good, your mate. I think she is better for you than I would ever be. She is kind and caring, but she has a backbone too. I wish you happiness, Sam. Sam felt tears in his eyes. Embry is a lucky guy too. I wish you to have a fulfilling life too, Leah. You deserved more than the love I could give you. They smiled at each other, finally at peace with their relationship. Sam knew that he would never forget Leah, as much as Bella would never forget Edward, but they both moved on, and what they were building was the real deal. He was ready to fight with the leech if he ever tried to come between them. He would not let Edward Cullen take what wasn't rightfully his. Sam wasn't going to let Bella go without a fight. He loved her that much. The next morning Sam woke up with an uneasy feeling. Tonight he was going to meet the Cullens, but the one that he was anxious to see was only one of them. He had never seen Edward Cullen and therefore he didn't know what to expect. Bella had loved him so deeply that he was feeling very insecure. He didn't lick that today he had to tell her about the evening meeting. He reached her house and she opened the front door with a huge smile. She ran and he picked her up. They kissed for a while, both oblivious of where they were. They were brought back to reality by someone clearing his throat. Both he and Bella blushed when they met the almost amused expression on Charlie Swan's face. "Hello Sam, I see things are progressing quite nicely between you two." Sam fidgeted. Sir Chief I mean." Bella started to laugh and after a moment her father did too. He looked between them questioningly. Bella took a breath. "Sorry Sam, you were so cute. I mean you are this strong and respected guy and then you can't pull a sentence together when you get caught kissing your girlfriend." Charlie smiled. "Don't worry son, as long as it's a welcome kiss and I don't catch you on my couch or on Bella's bedroom. I don't mind that much. Though you are in the middle of a road where people like gossiping too much. Keep it toned down." Sam nodded. "You are right sir. Sorry, I was just happy to see her and well I got carried away. I will try to be more respectful." Charlie smiled. "Okay Sam, I'm leaving for work, so both of you behave. I'm too young to be a grandfather." Charlie's chuckles rang out as he left them to their own devices. "Dad," shouted Bella. Sam smirked. "Now who's embarrassed?" She avenue him a punch and turned to get into the house. After a moment of hesitation Sam followed her. He took her hand and they went into the kitchen. Sam was quite nervous to approach the talk. "Bella, we are going to meet the Cullens tonight at midnight. I'll let you know tomorrow how it went." Bella turned to look at him. "What do you mean tomorrow?" "I'm coming with you tonight." Sam turned serious. "No way. It's too dangerous." Bella frowned. "Dangerous? I've been with them on numerous occasions and I'm still alive. What is the real reason?" Sam sighed. "Bella, I don't want you to face Edward." Bella looked at him and then sighed too. "Sam, he left me. Whether out of love or lack of it, he didn't give me a choice. Now, I'm over him. Part of me will always remember and cherish the time I spent with him. But I'm with you now. I'm not planning to go back to him. I want to be there not to see him, but to show my support to you. I want him to know that I belong to you and that he better not me looking for something I can't give him." Sam felt his heart expand. "Bella, I understand that you are part of it but I would feel better if you stay home. However, seeing as you are stubborn, if you want you can come. But I want you by my side at all time. No hugs and reunion crap. Am I clear enough?" She nodded shyly. "Of course Sam, I'll be on my best behavior." Sam eyed suspectingly. Why have I got the feeling that you'll be trouble?" She looked at him innocently. "I have no idea what you are talking about." Sam laughed. "You really are one of a kind. Come here, honey." She didn't hesitate and she embraced him. He looked at her and then kissed her again. The feeling of holding her in his arms was overwhelming. He knew that he would never get tired of being with her. After a while he spoke again. "I have to go now. But I'll come to pick you up at 11 tonight. I'm afraid you'll have to get out of your window. But don't worry, I'll be there to catch you." She seemed worried, but then smiled. "You better. I have this uncanny ability to break bones easily." Sam chuckled at his mate's klutziness. They said their goodbyes and Sam went back to his pack to plan for the night. Bella was pacing back and forth in her room waiting for Sam. Her father had gone to sleep at 11 and she had to turn off her light too, so that he would think she went to sleep as well. Now her room was bathed in the light of the moon. And she could not calm herself. She knew that tonight she was going to see Edward, and she didn't know how she felt about it. She had tried to reassure Sam that she had moved on. And she was almost sure that she had. But what if she hadn't? Could she really forget the man that she thought was her soul mate? She knew that the imprinting was the natural path of her life. But what if she was meant for something else? Fear was gripping her heart, doubt was spreading in her mind, and then she shook her head. These feelings were not hers. It was like Sam. Sam was feeling fear and confusion. She knew that the more they got closer the more they were able to feel each other, and now she had a proof. She took a deep breath. She was over Edward. She loved, yes, she loved Sam. She hoped that her feelings would be received by Sam. After other 15 minutes of pacing, she finally heard a rattle to her window, and when she looked up she saw the face of the man she loved. His deep dark eyes were boring into hers. The intensity of the look almost brought her to her knees. She went to open the window and she didn't have the time to react when he took her into his arms and kissed her. This kiss was different from the others. It spoke of ownership and desire. She felt like he was making sure that she knew whom she belonged to. She was surprised when he gently pushed her onto her bed and laid next to her. After a moment in which he looked at her, he raised his hand and caressed her cheek. His hand then glided down to touch her neck. Bella could not believe the new sensations that he was arousing in her. They hadn't spoken yet, almost afraid to break the spell that was surrounding them. He searched into her eyes for reassurance and she tried to convey to him that she belonged to him. He came closer again and his lips touched hers tenderly. There was no rush. He kissed her cheek and then her neck. He stopped there, with his mouth on her neck barely touching it. He took a deep breath and she smiled at the idea that he smelled her. "I love you, Bella," he said softly. Bella froze for a moment, overwhelmed by the warmth spreading in her heart. She took the hand that was caressing her neck and put it on her heart. "I love you too, Sam. My heart and my soul belong to you. Forever and for always." He looked up at her with surprise and joy. She smiled softly and then reached to him. She took his face into her hands and she slowly moved her lips towards his. Before touching his mouth she whispered, "I'm yours, Sam. No one will ever get between us." They were holding each other and both didn't want to go anywhere. She wanted to stay there, in Sam's arms forever. Unfortunately, they couldn't. Sam spoke. "We need to go, Bella. I would rather stay here with you. But I need to make sure that you are protected. We need to kill Victoria and the Cullen will help us with it. I want you to stay near me. If any of them tries to get to you, I'll shred them to pieces." Bella smiled. "Sam, they won't hurt me. You keep your temper in check, please. They are here to help us. You will have to respect them. And try not to pick a fight with Edward. I don't know how he will react to us together. But please remember that I'm with you. I'm exactly where I want to be. So be the better man and behave." Sam scowled. "But if he says something that I don't like, I can retaliate." She giggled. "Nope. Remember that at the end of the night you are going back with me and he doesn't. Another thing, he can read your mind, so please, please, please try not win who pisses more whom contest." Sam grinned. "He can read my mind." Bella looked at him and whispered, "Don't you dare thinking about us together." Sam looked sheepish. "Just one glimpse." Bella slapped him. Sam put up his hands and laughed. "Okay, I got it. No thinking about us together." Bella mumbled, "You are aware that I am aware that you are lying." He winked at her and then they proceeded to get out of the room. He jumped first and then looked up and told her to follow him. She looked down frightened. Could she do it? Sam promised her to catch her and he always kept his promises. She took a deep breath, closed her eyes and jumped. She was caught by her Sam without problems. She opened her eyes to see him smiling at her. "See, it wasn't that difficult. Take this as a first step so that when we go cliff diving you will know what to expect." She looked at him with incredulity. "Cliff diving? Are you kidding me? I am so not doing that." Sam smirked. "Of course you are. You run with vampire and werewolves. You are not scared of a little cliff, are you?" Bella frowned. If I jump, will you be with me?" He nodded and she sighed. "I guess then I'll have to try it. But if I die, it will be your entire fault." He laughed. "You will like it very much. And I'm sure you will want to do it again." She mumbled. "Sometimes I wonder why I put up with you." They had been speaking for a bit, while Sam was running and she was in his arms. She noticed then that they had reached the meadow. The wolves were in formation on one side. On the other side the Cullens were talking quietly. Sam and Bella looked at each other, and when she nodded he entered into the clearing with her in his arms. The reactions of the Cullens varied. Alice and Jasper smiled at her. Emmett winked. Rosalie was smirking. Esme and Carlyle nodded at her, and then her eyes met Edward's one. They looked at each other for a moment and time seemed to stop. She remembered how much she had loved him, and then how much he had hurt her. She took a deep breath and turned her head into Sam's chest. The feeling of reassurance and love radiated from him into her. She looked up at his eyes and he whispered, "Forever and for always." She beamed at him. They were shook out of their exchange by clearing of a throat. Sam put Bella down gently and took her hand. They turned to see Carlyle slowly approaching. Sam almost growled, "Stop there, Doc. We can hear you quite well from here. There is no need to come closer to me and my mate." Carlyle stopped. He eyed him and Bella carefully and seemed surprised. "You imprinted on our Bella." Bella gripped Sam's hand tighter. He snarled, "She is my Bella, not yours." Carlyle tensed. "Of course, I apologize. I think of Bella as one of my own. But you are right, she is yours and I will respect your bond. All my family will." Sam looked at Edward and then back at Carlyle. Bella took the moment of silence to speak. "I'm sorry, Carlyle, but you have no right to say that I am one of your own. You left me here, broken and alone. I don't think that any of you has any right to claim relationship with me." Sam looked at her and smiled softly. "Why don't you go to Jake? He will keep you company while I speak with them." She nodded and started to walk towards the wolves. She looked at them a bit confused. "Jake, can you take a step forwards? I really don't want to play guess the wolf." The wolves seemed to find it funny because they snorted and then they all took a step forward. So they wanted to play. She laughed. "I should have known better than to ask. Well, let's see." She got closer and started with the first gray wolf. "You are smaller than the other, leaner. It's easy. You are Leah." The wolf yapped and took a step back. The next two were close to each other. She smiled. "You must be Jared and Paul, both first to phase, and you definitely have a stronger bond." The wolves eyed her and she thought that she saw surprise in their eyes. They both took a step back. The remaining three wolves circled around her. One gray, one brown and one russet colored. Leah was gray too. "Then you must be Seth." The gray one got back to the others. She eyed the remaining two with attention. Their eyes were very similar, and Embry and Jake were friends since childhood. She came closer and sniffed at them. They both snorted. "You may laugh at me, but I know who my Jake is." She looked at the brown wolf and then suddenly she threw her arms around the russet-colored one. "You stink too much, buddy." The other wolves snorted and she heard Sam laugh too. She turned to see the Cullens and Sam laughing at her game. All a bit more relaxed but one. Edward didn't move from his rigid stance. The way Cullen was watching his Bella was unnerving. And the way she was aware of him was even more disturbing. Sam recalled the moment she told him that she was his, that she belonged to him, and noticed that the leech had turned his dark eyes to him. "Seeing something you don't like, leech," sneered Sam in his mind. Edward's eyes narrowed. Bella's soft voice interrupted their mental fight. "Sam, can you please stop whatever it is that you are doing?" Sam sighed. "I'm doing nothing, dear. I just don't like the way that freak over there looks at you." Bella left Jake's side and stomped to Sam. "He has a name and I haven't heard him insult you yet. So, stop the pissing contest now." Edward smirked. But then Bella turned to look at him and added, "And don't you look smug, Edward Cullen. Your little mind tricks aren't funny either. You are making everyone nervous, so stop whatever you are doing right now." Now it was Sam's turn to smirk. His little Spitfire had put her ex in line. Sam put a hand on Bella's shoulder and said, "It's okay now, Bella. We have finished here. Why don't you go back with Jake? I'll discuss the final details with the doc and then I'll come to you." Bella seemed to hesitate. She studied him for a moment and then she nodded. She didn't need to know that as soon as she was out of there he would go and have a talk with Mr. Freak over there. Bella went back to Jake, that meanwhile had phased back, and they left the clearing. Carlyle turned his attention back to Sam. "Well, Sam, it seems that we need to practice with each other. Shall we schedule a timetable? Sam nodded. Sure, Doc. You can discuss it with Jared, my beta over there. I need to talk with your son. Carlyle hesitated a moment. Sam, I know that Bella is your mate and that you care very much for her. But please remember that Edward loves her too. Sam took a deep breath. I don't mind him loving her. What I mind is that his intentions don't seem to be to let her go. So now we have a nice chat and see how it goes. Edward motioned to get closer to him. Sam checked to see his W. Alves leave the clearing from one side and the Cullens from the other. Sam got closer to Edward. So we finally meet. Edward looked at him coldly. Well, Alpha, it seems that you are getting comfortable with my Bella. I'm sorry that I have to be the one to tell you that she will leave you very soon. I'm back and I have realized what a fool I had been to leave her. I will ask for forgiveness and we both know that she will give in very easily. Sam was growing angry by the minute. You are probably right that she will forgive you, but she won't forget. She is now happy with me, I imprinted on her and we belong together. She won't come back to you. Ever. So you should listen to a bit of advice, leave her alone or I'll shred you to pieces. Edward looked at him seriously. And that will definitely make you the better choice in Bella's eyes. I want to be clear with you, Sam. When I left, I was sure that it was the best way to ensure her happiness. I knew that she loved me, but I couldn't think about turning her to keep her with me. But she wanted it, and now, after all this time away from her and the misery and the loneliness, I understand that it's the only way for me too. If she asks me this time, I won't say no. I will change her. Sam snarled. Don't you dare trying to convince her to change. She is happy and she is where she should be. It took a long way to get her where she was supposed to be. But now I trust her and I trust our feelings for each other. You can't come between us, but know that if she comes back to you and you change her, the treaty will be nullified and I won't rest until you are all exterminated. Edward studied him. Wouldn't it be fair to let her choose? Are you afraid that she will pick me? What if I can make her happier than you can? Sam shook his head. Okay, Leech. You want to talk with her? Be my guest. Tomorrow you can go and see her. I will ask of you one thing. If she chooses me, let her go. Edward seemed thoughtful. That's fine with me, but if she chooses me, you will have to grant me the same wish. Let her go. Sam seemed to hesitate but then stuck out his hand. Let's shake on it. Edward took his hand and they promised to let Bella be with whomever she wanted. Sam left quickly after that. He was so upset. But what could he do? What if she wanted Edward? He could not keep her even with the imprint if he was second best. He wanted to choose him and let Cullen go forever. But she had to face the leech. She had to look at him in the eyes and tell him that she chose someone else. He reached her house and saw that she was waiting for him at the window. His heart beat quicker. He couldn't wait to be with her. When he arrived under her window, she opened it and let him enter. Why didn't you leave the window open? He asked. Bella blushed and then looked up at him. I didn't want to give Edward any idea. Usually, I kept the window open to signify that he was welcome here. Now he is not, so I don't want any misunderstanding. Sam was shocked. He had been worrying that she would pick the leech and instead she was reaffirming that she wanted nothing to do with him. Bella, I love you. She walked to him and laid her head on his chest. Sam, no matter what Edward told you, I belong to you. There's nothing that he can say that will change it. Maybe if I had never met you, I would have taken him back eventually. But maybe not. When he left, I thought my world had just ended, but instead it was a beginning. I never thought that I would enjoy birthdays and simple sunny days on the beach. I wanted the perfection that is not of this world. Sometimes the most beautiful things are the simple ones. You have to be happy with what you have, because if you always look to have more and better, you'll waste your life. This is the lesson I learned, and that's why I'm happy and grateful for you, the pack in my life as it is. Sam didn't hesitate to press his mouth on hers. He felt a happiness that he didn't think he could have ever had. His Bella told him everything he needed to know. The leech could come tomorrow and get his goodbye to Bella. After the next day he was never going to let Edward and Bella meet alone again. Before leaving, Sam grimaced. "I forgot to tell you that tomorrow Edward will come to see you. He insisted to hear from you that you are over. Do you want someone being there with you?" Bella bit her lips. "No, thank you. I think that this is something I need to do alone. Don't worry, he won't hurt me. After he leaves I'll get to La Push. Is that okay with you?" Sam sighed. He didn't like the idea of Bella and the leech alone. But he had to trust her. "I'm not happy to have him alone with you, but I guess you both need closure. I'll be waiting for you at my house." Bella kissed Sam once more and Sam jumped out the window. Turning to watch his Bella close the window. Edward would never come back into Bella's life as a lover. Sam was vibrating with happiness. Bella noticed Sam still standing under the window. Bella blew Sam a kiss and signed "I love you." Sam smiled and blew back a kiss before turning to the woods. Bella woke up with a feeling of dread. Today she was going to meet Edward. She had mixed feelings about it. She knew deep down in her heart that she wanted to be with Sam, but Edward was her first love. She decided to keep herself occupied until the time he came to see her. Rose headed to do laundry and then started to prepare cookies for the pack. She knew that they would enjoy eating and she was singing softly while preparing the ingredients. She was shook out of her reverie by a soft, but firm knock at the door. She took a deep breath and then she went to open. Edward was there, watching her the same way Sam usually did. She lowered her eyes, a surge of anger rising in her heart. How did he dare looking at her that way? He left her in the forest, alone and broken-hearted. He didn't have any right to look at her with love. She let the door open and she turned back to go in the kitchen. She didn't need to turn to know that he was behind her. When they reached the kitchen she took up the bowl where she was mixing the ingredients for the cookies. "Sam told me that you wanted to speak to me. What is it, Edward? Haven't you told me everything last time we spoke?" Edward opened his mouth and then closed it. A look of sorrow and pain was evident in his expression. She sighed, frustrated that she could read him so well. "Don't you dare looking at me that way. You chose to leave me. You told me that you didn't love me anymore. I was here, I waited for you to come back. But you didn't, and now it's too late." He looked heartbroken. "Bella, I am so sorry. You can't imagine the agony to be away from you. I thought that I was giving you a chance to live, to create a family and grow up. But now I realize that I was wrong. If you give me a chance to prove to you that my love for you is immense, I promise I'll never leave you. I'll turn you if that's what you want. Anything to be forgiven, anything to be with you." Bella closed her eyes. She concentrated hard not to cry. She would not shed another tear for Edward Cullen. "I have forgiven you a long time ago, Edward. But I don't want you anymore. Part of my heart will always belong to you, but now my future is with Sam. I love him and he understands me better than you ever had. Looking back now, I am thankful that you left me in the forest. That's where I met my true destiny. Now, if this is everything you have to say, you can go." Edward stood up and came closer. She took a step back and put up a hand. "Don't, please don't." Edward swiftly was in front of her. "What are you scared of? That you still feel what you felt," whispered him, and with his hand he caressed her cheek. She winced and took another step back. That's when she realized that she was stuck between the counter and Edward. "I have a boyfriend that I love and respect. I ask you to step back from me, Edward." He took another step forward. They were almost touching. She could feel his cool breath on her face. She closed her eyes, her mind and her heart battling with each other. "I can feel your heartbeat accelerating. I know that you still want me." She took a deep breath and then she opened her eyes. "Edward the First won't ask again. Take a step back or I'm going to scream so loud that Sam will hear it. And when he will come here, I will gladly let him shred you to pieces. You come here begging for forgiveness and then you offend me in the worst way. I told you that I don't want you anymore. If you ever loved me as you claim, please respect my wishes." Edward was going to replay when he heard a small growl. "I would do as she asks, Leech," snarled Leah. "I may not be strong enough to kill you, but I can maim you quite all right. Now why don't you leave her alone? You broke her heart and someone else, someone better, came along and healed her. Now she loves him and he loves her with all his heart. You should respect her wishes. Edward looked between Bella and Leah. He sighed and took a step back. I apologize, Bella. You and Leah are right. I will respect you and your commitment to Sam. I will leave you alone. Leah, can you tell your alpha that I will respect our pact? He took a last look at Bella and then left. Bella looked at Leah. How good are you at shielding your memories? Leah looked back. Very good. Ella slid down and then hugged her knees. She took short breaths and tried to calm, but it was useless. She started to cry. The pain was so intense and overwhelming. She cried for what she had lost. He cried because she couldn't go back to Edward. She cried because she finally realized that this was it. There was no happily ever after with her vampire. She didn't know how long she cried, but she felt better when she was enveloped into a warm tight hug. Let everything out, Bella. Let this be the last time he hurts you. Let this be the beginning of your life with Sam. I know it hurts, but you had to have closure. Everything will be all right. Sam loves you, Jake too. And you have a snarky somehow new werewolf girlfriend. What could you ask more? Bella looked up at Leah. She knew that she could understand her pain better than anyone. Thank you, Leah. Thank you very much. Leah smiled. Okay, now that we have this out of the way, go and put yourself together. I will finish the cookies and then I'll take you to Sam. Is that okay with you? Bella nodded and then left to regroup in the bathroom. She would have never thought that Leah would be a very good friend, now that she saw her goodness. She would do anything to try to be a good friend too. The drive from the Swan's house to Sam 1 was a silent one. Bella was lost in her thoughts and Leah seemed quite thoughtful too. When the Lapusha's sign came into view, Bella spoke for the first time. Leah, will you be able to shield my breakdown from Sam? I know I'm asking a lot from you, but I assure you that it's only because I don't want to hurt him. Leah smiled sadly. Don't worry, Swan. He will not see it, and I want you to know that I'm doing it for you. You need your privacy and I can see clearly that you love Sam. I don't want anything to spoil your relationship. I love him very much and I want his happiness, and now that I know you, I want you to be happy too. You are a good person. Bella sighed. Do you mind if I ask you to leave me at Jake's house? I need to talk to him. I'll have him take me to Sam after. Leah looked at her with curiosity. Don't you think that it would be too much in a day? First Edward and then Jake. Bella shook her head. Actually, talking to Jake it's worse than talking to Edward. With Edward the first knew where I stood. But with Jake he stood with me through thick and thin. And he is the best thing that came in my life besides Sam. I'm just heartbroken that I cannot love him the way he deserves. And I think he needs closure too, he has to move on. Leah nodded. Do you think that he hasn't? Bella laughed sadly. You are in his mind, you tell me. Leah seemed uncomfortable. Well, I guess I'm taking you to Jake then. I agree with you, he needs closure. Just don't hurt him too much. He is a good guy. He has the most beautiful heart I've ever seen. I'm sorry that he couldn't get his heart's desire. I wish that he'll imprint soon. It won't take all the pain away, but it will help. They arrived at the Black's house and before the car stopped Bella was pulled out of it and found herself in a warm and tight hug. Bells, I'm so happy to see you. How did it go with? She looked up at Jake and tried to smile. I told him it's over for good. No more Edward Cullen for me. Leah cleared her throat. Jake, take her to Sam later. Jake nodded and still being in each other's arms, they watched Leah drive away. Jake's smile was warm, but his eyes showed concern. Are you really okay, Bells? You know you can talk to me. Bella snuggled closer. Would she ever be able to be in his arms again? Could she really let go of her Jake? A lump formed in her throat. Jake was her son, her joy, the only one she let close after the horrific breakup. Jake was no Sam, no imprinting connected her with him. But sometimes the feelings she had for him were overwhelming. She tightened her embrace. Jake seemed to understand that she needed the closeness and he tightened his embrace too. He then kissed her hair. And when she looked up he kissed her forehead and her nose. His eyes flickered to her lips and then he looked up in her eyes. She knew that it was wrong, that she didn't feel for him what he felt for her. But she could give him once and only once something that would be just theirs. She nodded and he seemed uncertain. She closed her eyes and waited. She didn't have to wait much longer. She felt his warm lips on hers. It was different from Sam's kisses. It was nice but there was no spark, no desire to push it further. When they separated he looked at her sadly. It's a goodbye to me too, isn't it? She felt the tears streaming down her face. Jake, I will always love you, always. You have a part of my heart that will always and solely belong to you. But my life is with Sam. I feel him in my heart and in my soul. He is the one I can't be without. I think that we can't be what we have been until now. You keep pushing at the boundaries of our friendship, and I'm weak and I let you. But it's not healthy for both of us. Sam deserves all of me, unconditionally. And you have to let me go. Please. Jake took a step back, breaking their embrace. His eyes mirrored hers. Sadness and loss were the main emotions. You were right, Bella. You belong to Sam and I have to let go. But it's so hard. The kiss we just shared, it was everything I imagined and more. Don't worry, I'll never show it to Sam. My love for you will never waver, but I understand that I cannot be near you the way we have been until now. It hurts me, you and Sam. So I guess we will take a break from each other. I will just be a phone call away. I'm not leaving you, Bells. I'm just taking a bit of space for both our sake. Bella nodded. She felt awful that the only thing she wanted was to be back in his arms. She didn't make a move though. She knew she had to let go too. She had Sam and that was it. She wanted to go to him with a clean heart. She knew that the moment she reached his house she would be his and only his forever. And if he wanted marriage she would accept. There were no more obstacles in her heart to her and Sam's happiness. Okay, Jake, can you give me a ride to Sam's house? Jake smiled sadly. Our last ride on the rabbit together. Bella almost shocked. I hope that eventually we will have other times. Jake shrugged. He put up his hand to take hers as usual but then he stopped. He let the hand fall down again. He turned to go to the car. Bella noticed his new attitude. The feeling of loss was immense, but she was grateful that he listened to her and was trying to put into practice their new resolve. She took a deep breath and followed him to his car. The beginning of her new life had seen her short of an ex-boyfriend and a best friend. She straightened her shoulders. What didn't kill her would make her stronger. She was ready to be the woman Sam deserved. She was ready to take her position as the alpha's mate. Sam was on the porch when Leah arrived. He looked in her car. And when he saw that Bella wasn't there he felt his heart break. He had been a fool to think that she would pick him when she could have eternity and perfection with the leech. He sunk down to his knees feeling all the energy leaving him. His life meant nothing to him anymore. She didn't choose the leech, Sam, said a distressed Leah. Stand up and breath. Bella is coming here soon with Jake. Em looked up and saw that Leah was sincere. Why is she coming with Jake? Leah didn't meet his eyes and that worried Sam. He had been so concerned about Cullen that thoughts of Jake didn't even enter in his mind. She was resolute in her lack of feelings about the leech but what she felt for Jake was strong too. How hadn't he seen that? Leah laughed. Oh Sam, you should see your face now. She is not going to choose Jake either. I think that finally Swan got the courage to get her closure with both the leech and Jake. She is coming here to be with you. Now compose yourself before she start thinking that she would be better off with someone else. Sam looked incredulous at Leah, but he felt her genuine concern for him beneath the sarcasm. You aren't funny, Leah, not one bit. Now get in the house with the others. I'll wait for her here. Leah put a hand on his shoulder. I think you should get inside, Sam. Let her come to you. Sam took a deep breath and nodded. After another excruciating 20 minutes he heard Jake's car arrive. He tried to keep himself calm, but the tension in him had been transferred to the whole pack and the atmosphere was very tense. The car stopped, but he didn't hear a door opening. What was going on? He slowly reached the window and he saw that Bella and Jake were sitting in the car not moving. Jake's hands were clutching the steering wheel like his life depended on it. And she was looking down at her lap. They didn't talk for a long time. He thanked his werewolf senses when they finally talked because he could hear them. "So this is it then," said Jake. Sam thought he detected a note of desperation in his voice. What had they talked about before getting there? He didn't think he could ask either Bella or Jake though. Jake, he heard Bella choke on the words. Why did she seem so distraught? Don't, Bella, please, don't, we both know that you are right. We need a break, you belong to Sam and that's that. Don't you dare back down from your resolve, Bells. Because I'm too weak and I would take you back, you know that. Did she finally set some boundaries for their relationship? He knew that he could never ask her to give up Jake for his sake, but could she have done that? Could she really finally be just his? How much must have cost her? Jake had been her world for so long. He felt hope and love for his mate, but underneath it all he felt sorrow, that she had to give him up. You were right, Jake. We know how we feel about each other and nothing will take that away that from us. I thought that leaving Edward behind would be difficult, but I want you to know that it is more difficult for me to let you go. That I never felt for him what I feel for you, but from when I get out of this car I'm going to be Sam's mate. Only and forever his. There's never going to be an us again. I'm sorry, Jake, goodbye, take care of yourself. Sam felt a huge weight on his heart. He didn't know if it was hers or his. She had sacrificed everything that mattered to her for him. He loved her even more for that. He swore that she would never regret her choice. The door opened and Bella stumbled down. He heard her steps, slow but determined, bringing her to him. He opened the door and before she could say anything he took her in his arms. He watched Jake open his door and basically burst into a wolf in a matter of seconds. Jake didn't turn, he just took off running. Sam sighed. Knowing that Jake needed time to adjust, he would give him a week before trying to get him back to the pack. He knew that if he had lost Bella, an entire life would not be enough to recover. But unfortunately he couldn't let Jake go yet. They had to kill Victoria first, and then if Jake wanted to leave, for as long as he wished, he would keep his alpha position and let him find a way out of his sorrow. He dreaded phasing now. He didn't know if he could endure his pain. Meanwhile Bella was clutching at him like her life depended on that. He sighed. Bella, I'm going to take you to my bedroom, okay? We are going to talk there. The pack, seeing the seriousness of the situation, stood up and started to leave. All but Leah. She got closer to Sam and Bella and she said, Bella, no matter how much it hurts, it was the right thing to do. I respect you for your strength. I'm happy that Sam has a woman like you on his side. Sam, the leech said he will respect your pact, whatever that means. She nodded at Sam and then left. Sam walked with her into his room and had her sat on his bed. He looked at his mate, sitting there looking at her feet and not speaking. She wasn't crying either and he was unsure of how to proceed. She finally looked up. Her eyes were red and puffy for crying. For Edward or Jake, it didn't really matter. She had chosen him and now it was his responsibility to make her feel well. He kneeled in front of her. Bella, do you want to talk? Bella bit her lips. He thought that she seemed unsure. Sam, I want you to know that Edward won't be a problem anymore. I told him that I chose you and that's final. He said that he will respect my choice. Sam smiled. Thank you. I don't know what I would have done if you picked him. I love you, Bella, and I'll spend the rest of my life showing you that you chose right. Now, what happened with Jake? Sam realized that he asked the wrong thing when he saw her expression crumpling. The pain and the loss were so evident in her clear and innocent eyes. She cleared her throat. I realized that my friendship with him wasn't good for me and you. I think that I was too dependent on him, and that his love for me wasn't good for him. We had both to let go. We need a break and eventually a clean start. Sam, and then she started crying. He was dumbfounded. Was he detecting some guilt? What made his mate feeling that way? Bella, it's okay. I understand that you cared for him very much and I'm sorry for both yours and Jake's loss. But it's over now and eventually you will find a way back to each other. I will never try to get between you and Jake. I'm sure now that you want to be with me. Bella seemed distressed. Something happened between me and Jake, I mean, she blushed. He said that he wouldn't show or tell you, but I think that if we want to build a relationship based on love and trust that you should know. Sam was starting to panic. What had happened that had her so guilty and nervous? And when did this thing happen? While they were already dating? Before? Bella took a deep breath and Sam took a step back. He knew that if she upset him enough he would say, and he didn't want to risk harming her. She seemed broken. We kissed. Sam was watching her carefully. A kiss wasn't such a big deal, besides she didn't know at the beginning that she belonged to him. But then she said that he promised to shield the memory, so it must have happened after he phased, and then Jake knew that she was not his to have. He was starting to shake. The anger was overwhelming him. He was being swallowed by the darkness of his wolf's side. How could Jake betray him that way? When did it happen? Bella was shaking and Sam realized that he was scaring her. He took a breath, and then another, and he managed to find a slip of control. When? Bella bit her lip again. Today, but I swear it didn't mean anything to me. I know that I shouldn't have done it, but I was telling him that we couldn't be with each other and his pain was my pain and I have no excuse, but it's not Jake's fault. If you want to be angry, then I am the one that deserves it. You know that he would do anything for me. Sam started to shake again. Today his mate has kissed another man. He needed to leave before he made a mess. Bella, I need to get out of here. I want you to stay right there. We will talk about it when I come back. But now I know I'm going to phase and I need to be out of here. He took a last look to the woman he loved and then run out. He barely managed to exit the house before phasing. He took off for the forest and started running, not caring about the destination. He felt in his head a few wolves. He managed to shout, Seth, stay around my house to protect Bella. Before turning everyone off and letting the wolf take him. Anger, pain, betrayal, loss, love, sorrow, fear, pain. Sam lost count of the arrays of feelings that were threatening to crush him. He didn't know how long he was out of it. He was taken back to sanity by a shout in his head. Sam, please come back. I love you, please come back. Sam recognized that voice. It was Bella's. She was speaking through a wolf to get to him. Bella, the love of his life, the woman that with a word could destroy him. He stopped his run. It was dark, meaning that he must have been out of his mind for a while. He sighed. She had betrayed him and that hurt very much. Could he forgive her? Yes, he could. Because he felt her guilt and her sorrow and her regret. He knew that the kiss probably meant more to Jake than to her. Maybe it was the closure that they both needed. He had to come back and talk to her. Her voice seemed laced with so much anguish. Seth, tell Bella I'm coming back. Tell her not to worry, everything will be okay. Okay, Sam. But please hurry up, because Bella is in hysterics. I've never seen her like this, not even when she was left by the leech in the forest. Sam flinched. He had caused his mate hurt, but she had too. Now he had to go back and reassure her, and somehow he needed reassurance from her too. Why? Was the only thing on Sam's mind. Of course she was upset. She thought that he had left her just like the leech. Sam couldn't get back faster enough. He had to get to Bella and reassure her that no matter what, their love was stronger than anything. But most of all, that he would always go back to her. As soon as Sam left, Bella felt panic rising. He had left her, and she deserved it. She knew that she couldn't live with the guilt of the kiss. Everything had to be out in the open if she wanted to be with Sam. He had looked so upset, hurt and angry. But he loved her enough to run away rather than hurt her. She sighed and then she stood up and went out of the door. She saw a gray wolf lurking around. She called him. Seth, can you phase back for a moment? Seth barked and then left for the trees. After a while he emerged in his human form and went to Bella. He seemed embarrassed. "What's up, Bella?" She felt fear rising in her heart. "Do you know where Sam is?" Seth fidgeted. "I'm sorry, but I'm not sure. He just told me to patrol around the house to protect you and then he went all wolf." Bella looked puzzled. "All wolf?" Seth passed a hand through his hair. "Well, sometimes when your emotions get to be too much, the wolf takes over you and you find yourself without your rational mind. I can't talk with Sam while he is in this state. Jake is all wolf too." Bella sunk down. She had really made a mess. She had sent two extremely good and kind guys crazy. Do you think he will be back?" Seth shrugged his shoulders. "I think he will, eventually. But he seemed pretty upset, so I don't know." Bella started to cry and Seth took out his cell. "Leah, yes, can you come over?" Something happened between Bella and Sam. "Sam's gone all wolf. I'm not sure, can you come?" Seth shut the cell off and said, "Bella, Leah's on her way. I need to phase back and keep guard around here. I can't risk the leech coming and finding you unprotected." Bella nodded and stood up. She swayed and Seth caught her before she fell. "Easy there, Bella. I'll take you inside and then I'll phase." Bella was hyperventilating by the time Leah entered the house. The wolf girl ran to her. "Bella, breath. Come on, what's happened?" Bella tried to calm enough to tell Leah what happened. Leah stood up and started to pace. "What a mess. Really, Bella, couldn't you keep the kiss for yourself? Jake would have managed to shield it and Sam didn't really need to know. If I didn't know that you meant well, I could kill you right now and spare Victoria the effort." Bella started to cry again. "I'm sorry, Leah, I just thought that I didn't want to start my relationship with that huge weight. I know that if he was him that kissed someone else I would have killed him. It's just that when I was with Jake it all was too much, first Edward and then him, and I let it happen. I have no excuse, but I love Sam, and if he will have me I'll spend the rest of my life loving him and making up for my shortcomings." Leah was pacing back and forth. "I believe you, Bella, and I know that Sam will forgive you. I am sure. But you hurt him very much and you will damn make sure to make him the happiest man alive. Now, I think you need to rest a bit, and then we will try to contact Sam." Bella tried to rest and relax. But the more time passed the worse she felt. He wasn't coming back, he left her and she deserved it. She couldn't really fault anyone but herself. She started to panic. What would she do without Sam? Leah saw her distress and took her out to Seth. "Bella, you will try to reach Sam through Seth, just speak to Sam, watching Seth's eyes. Maybe your voice will bring him back." Bella looked into Seth's eyes and whispered, "Sam, please come back. I love you, please come back." And then she started crying. After a moment Seth left for the trees and came back. "Bella, calm down. Sam is coming back and he told me not to worry." They were startled by a laugh. "Well, look what I finally found. My dear Bella and two dogs." Seth, Leah and Bella looked up to see Victoria with another vampire. Leah and Seth burst into their wolf form and put themselves in front of Bella. Victoria laughed again. "Do you think you can stop me? Two measly dogs. Riley, take care of them for me." The oath. Vampire attacked and Seth shot forward. They started to fight and their speed didn't help to understand who was winning. Meanwhile Victoria was trying to get to Bella. "It seems that I get the she-wolf to play with. Dear Bella, all this effort to reach you makes me think that when I get to you there will be hell to pay." Bella was scared and distressed. She hoped that Seth and Leah didn't have to suffer for her. Other three wolves came out from the forest and Victoria laughed. "You think you can stop me? My friends, please step forward." And from behind her other 5 vampires moved forward. The fight started with the wolves down for 2. They were all fighting valiantly but they were outnumbered. When Bella thought that all was lost she saw the Cullens coming in a short moment behind a black wolf that Bella recognized as Sam. It was all a blur. Screams and shouts and wails were heard everywhere. Bella couldn't keep up with the fight and she was taken inside the house by Alice. "Bella, me and you will stay here. Your presence outside is too distracting for us." Thus Bella was in the house with Alice. The small vampire closed her in the closet, explaining that it was the safer place in the house. No windows and only a door that Alice was going toward. After what seemed an eternity, Bella realized that there was an eerie silence. The door of the closet opened and she met the dark eyes of her beloved Sam. They looked at each other, but both were scared to say or do anything. Then Bella spoke. "I'm sorry, Sam. I love you so much and I hope you will forgive me." Sam looked at her for a moment longer and then he took her in his arms. "Oh Bella, I forgive you. I love you so much too and I cannot imagine my life without you. We killed Victoria and her army. Now you are safe, and we will start rebuilding our relationship. I cannot deny that you hurt me, but I know I hurt you too. We will start anew, just the two of us." Bella hugged him tighter. "Oh, Sam, I promise you that I will make it up to you. I will regain your trust, I swear it. I love you, only you." Sam laughed and cried simultaneously. "I love you, Bella, for now and for always." The couple embraced tighter with a passionate kiss. Hearing the words, "finally," in the background, 20 years later, "Absolutely no. I cannot believe that you are siding with her," shouted Sam. Bella frowned. "Really, Sam, it's not a big deal. Martin Black is a good guy and our daughter is very responsible. It's just a date." Sam sighed and sat on the sofa. "It always starts with a date. Then next thing we know they'll end up getting married." Bella sat near him and laughed. "They are just 16 and Jacob and Marie had brought him up well." Sam growled. "If the son is anything like his father." Bella smiled. "If he is anything like Jake, he will love our Kate with all his heart." Sam sighed in defeat. "But I want her back by 11. A squeal was heard and Sam caught a blur in his arms. "Thanks, Daddy. I promise I'll be on my best behavior." Bella was smiling and Sam grumbled. "It's not your behavior I'm worried about." Kate held her father tightly. "Oh Dad. You know Martin since he was born. The guy is a sweet teddy bear." The door of the house opened and Jacob entered. "Are you calling my son a teddy bear?" Kate ran to him and he took her up and spun her around. "I've got my father's permission," Kate said happily. Jacob smiled and put her down. "Why don't you go to tell Martin? He is outside waiting in the car." Kate was out of the door in a second. Jake looked at Bella and Sam and smiled. "Well, who would have ever thought that we would be seeing our children together?" Sam stood up and got closer to Jake. "I wouldn't for sure. How's Marie?" Jake smiled happily. "She is well considering that she is 8 months pregnant. I would have never imagined so many years ago that I would imprint and I would be happy about it." Bella smiled and went to take Sam's hand. "I think nobody would have imagined that we would end up here. Best friends and our children dating. Have you noticed any change in Martin?" Jake shook his head. "No, and let me tell you that I'm so happy that the gene will skip his generation. Embry and Leah's twins and Quill's son will be spared too. Have you heard from the Leaches?" Bella winced, still not used to the term. "I talked with Alice a week ago. She told me that the family is in Canada and that they don't plan to come back to Forks for a few centuries. She told me that Edward had finally brought home his new vampire girlfriend and that she is nice. I'm happy that we all have finally settled." Jake and Sam looked at each other over Bella's head and she missed the silent exchange between the two of them. Sam would never tell Bella that although Jake loved Marie, he still loved her as much. He respected Jake and his choice to move on. He would never tell Bella either that Edward had come back every few years to check if he had by any chance screwed up and he could take Bella away. Bella would always been loved by too many. Luckily for him, she just loved one. Her Sam. The end. Thank him.